Welcome, Frank Bay Boxing Talk live, breaking down Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez on the zone this Saturday. We finally got a big fight over the fiasco of Clarissa Shields. In case you caught the last live, dropped a short on it. But yeah, let's flambe. We got Virgil news, AJ and Fury. Yeah, we got some things to talk about. Let's get to an intro first. And eye candy, you know the routine. There it is. Just some eye candy. This is, I believe, Chicana Boxing. She does boxing content and I think a little other boxing content. I like to do smash or pass. Is this smash, pass, wife it up? What you think? After seeing some of the eye candy last week, how do you guys feel? How do you guys feel? Welcome, welcome. Playground fight, boxing with Frank Bay. Here to break down Teofimo Lopez and Rolando Romero. What do you guys think of this fight? Is this a barn burner? Is it a humdinger? Is it a must watch, can't miss, epic throwdown? Or is it a playground fight? I kind of find it hard. I found it hard to get into this fight. I was speaking on BDA Boxing. If you know who that guy is, go like, subscribe. We were talking about the fight that, one of the things that going over the show again, listening, was is it going to be a snoozer? Rolando Romero, the last time we seen him, it's been a long time since we seen Rolando Romero, also known affectionately as Retardo Romero. He gets a lot of shit. I think they're actually doing the media workouts right now. So Rolando Romero, BDA Boxing, thank you, salute, Mr. BDA. I'm actually going to drop the link right now if anybody wants to hop on. But we were talking about it, and one thing that stuck out in my mind was, is it going to be a good fight? Because it is the zone pay-per-view. It is the zone pay-per-view, so you will have to pay for it. I'm assuming everybody here pays for their fights. Anybody that listens to me, watches, pays for the fights, right? Is it a pay-per-view worthy fight? I think that is a resounding no. It has to be a no, right? I mean, we haven't seen Rolando Romero in over a year. I want to say, just off the top of my head, he hasn't fought since the Ryan Garcia throwdown, and that was a lackluster fight, wasn't it? A very lackluster fight. I think there wasn't much action. It had one of the lowest outputs in boxing history, and I think that was on the undercard was Devin Haney and Ramirez. We had that going on. So I think it was the City of Wolves card. And the last time we seen Teofimo, he was getting outboxed by Shakur Stevenson and the fiasco surrounding him. So the question really begs to really begs the question is this a fight to even be interested in? I'm usually interested in everything, right? Interested in every fight that comes my way, but this is one that is really hard to get it up for. I gotta say, to be honest with you, to be honest with the boxing heads, because anybody who listens to me, anybody I speak boxing with, you're definitely a hardcore fight fan, I'm assuming. And this fight just kind of came out of nowhere. I think Rolly Romero was supposed to fight Devin Haney. They were working on that fight, and then that fight fell through. There was talks of Rolly Romero rematching Ryan Garcia. Garcia didn't want to entertain that fight anymore. There was talks of Rolly Romero and Manny Pacquiao. Right? They were talks of that fighting, and nothing just ever materialized. And Rolly Romero has been in the news for having a change of heart. He's found the true way, the true path. Frank Bay, Phil Miles, thank you. Hit the like. Rolly Romero was kind of a knucklehead. I guess he was a little bit of a player, had some sexual allegations against him before. Remember, he's notorious for getting knocked out by Tank Davis. That fight was canceled because there was some accusations that he's a bit of a perv. And Teofimo kind of alludes to that. But Rolly Romero, something happened in his life, something changed, and he found the true path and the true way. And he's a changed man, and he's practicing semen retention. And you're proud of the guy, but it kind of what is the word that I'm looking for? He's lost his edge. You want a fighter to have some knuckleheadishness. You want him to have an edge. And he seems to has lost his fastball. Exactly, BDA. You got to embrace your crazy side. Anybody that steps in between those ropes has to be a little cuckoo, right? If you really think about boxing, you really think about what it is, and to pursue this as a profession, you got to have a little bit of something wrong with you, right? When I started boxing, I wanted to box as a kid and a teenager and as an adult. I was always asked, why do you want to box? And when I used to work with fighters, training, little, amateurs, kids, even adults, I always ask them, why do you want to fight? The old saying goes, you don't play boxing. And it's like, one kid, there was a standout amateur that I used to train alongside, right? And I asked him, I said, why do you want to box? And he really didn't have an answer. All he said was that I just like to be the star. So he did it for the glory. And he had a decent amateur career, won some championships, but he didn't really take it that far. I've come across pros, professionals, and, they say it's a poor man's sport. A lot of the people that come from boxing are impoverished. If you have a little bit of money in life, if you have parents, usually go into baseball, basketball, football, but the sports that a team sport, it's not all eyes on you. Boxing is a dirty, grimy sport. It is. There is no love in boxing. It is just you. And it takes a lot of time and money to go through the amateurs. Rolando Romero started late. So you look at guys like Rolly Romero, you look at Teofimo Lopez, and there's something off. Is it just obvious that there's something off? You listen to Frank Bay and you go, hey, there might be something a little off with this guy, right? Think about the YTBC, think about social media, and anybody that follows boxing. One thing you'll hear about boxing is it's called the red light district of sports. I spoke about this before, and really it alludes to that anybody can get into boxing. Boxing brings all walks of life. And during my boxing journey, being in the gyms, talking boxing, you run across all kinds of people. You can literally be on the side of a politician and a criminal. Gang members, people in the, boxing used to be run by the mob. So boxing really is for the crazies. It literally attracts the dregs of society. If you watch old school boxing movies, right? That was Rocky Balboa. He was a gangster, or he was a thug, or he was a loan shark, or he was collecting for the mob, right? The boxing used to be ran by the mob. Recently the story Daniel Kinahan, right, was involved in boxing. Don King was an ex-gangster. Boxing is the red light district of sports. There is no love in boxing. You may love boxing, but it does not love you. And we know this by the fights that we get. So breaking down Rolando Romero and Teofimo Lopez, like I said, there's just something off about these guys. And I don't know if I can take this fight seriously. And one thing that Frank Bay likes to do, one thing that I'm going to do, let's break it down. I want to look at the statistics, the tail of the tapes, as they like to say. So let me bring that up for you guys. If I can, have a little sense in this crazy world. So here it is, Rolando Romero. They will be fighting in, lovely Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Center, right? So it's a big fight. It's getting love on social media. People know the names. But are they known for winning? That's another question. Are they known for winning? What is the last image you have of Teofimo? The last image you have of Teofimo is him apologizing for racism. That is literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen in following boxing, is a guy getting punched to oblivion and apologizing for racism. I forgot his exact words, but he said he threw up the Black Power sign, the fist, and he said, "I apologize for your plight," or something or other. It was it was a serious note, but people have accused Teofimo of being a racist piece of shit, right? On the undercard, you have Yoleni Hernandez, a dangerous middleweight, versus Vernon, who we've seen on Pro Box. Santillan and Russell in a bantamweight bout, and Utria and Mercado in a super lightweight bout. So nothing really to write home about. That's just boxing. They just figured, hey, let's just get these names and see what we could do, and who cares about the undercard. So those are some PBC names. Teofimo Lopez is exclusively with the Zone, right? So Rolando Romero is 17-2. Teofimo Lopez is 22-2. So the losses were to George Camboso and Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez has a claim to undisputed, right? There was, when he beat Lomachenko, there was arguments whether he was undisputed. He claims he was. ESPN said he was, but then the whole fiasco. Rolando Romero fought and lost to Tank Davis, and his other loss was to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I believe Rolando Romero is a 3-time champion, so they are the same age relatively. Rolando Romero is 30 years old. Teofimo Lopez is 29. They're both 5'8", and they both have similar reach. They're both orthodox. Wins by KO is the same at 13. This is not for a championship, right? There's nothing on the line here, which is interesting. Usually, in boxing, they find a way to get people tied. Oh, it is for Rolando Romero's title. I apologize. Rolando Romero had the title. So it'll be this Saturday on pay-per-view, the Zone pay-per-view. Let's look at the stats. Rolando Romero steps into the ring with a record of 17 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws, 13 by way of knockout. The link is in the chat if you want to hop on. There is Vergil Ortiz news, Tyson Fury and AJ news, Jermell Charlo plotting a comeback versus Tim Tszyu, and I think Navarrete and Oshaki Foster has been finalized. So Teofimo Lopez will make his way to the ring with the record of 22 wins, 2 losses, and 0 draws. The stats suggest Romero has an advantage in power with 76% knockout percentage, and Lopez at 59%. Rolly is the older man at 30, and Lopez has a 1-inch reach advantage. They're both orthodox. Romero is the less experienced professional fighter, having had 5 fewer fights. He made his debut in 2016, 27 days later than Lopez, whose first professional bout was 216. And this is crazy because, Lopez is considered one of the 4 kings. Shakur Stevenson has come around. Remember the 4 kings? Tank Davis, Lopez, Garcia, and Lopez. The 4 kings is Lopez, Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia, right? Then now newly is Shakur Stevenson, right? Is being talked about them. Remember, it was Lomachenko who was kind of, hovering around the 4 kings. And there's a 5th king, a prince, and it's Rolando Romero. Because Rolly Romero has been in the conversation. He's fought Tank Davis, he's fought Lopez, and he's fought Ryan Garcia. So out of the 4 kings, the prince is actually Rolly Romero because he's been hovering around these guys. BDA Boxing, wow, both guys have been pros for 10 years and they barely have any fights. That's the new era, right? Rolly Romero's with PBC and they don't fight often. And, Teofimo Lopez, once he beat Lomachenko, he became a diva. So Teofimo Lopez is currently ranked number 6 by the WBA and number 2 by the WBO. Romero has 19 fights, not even 20. That's the PBC plan, right? I mean, look where's Gary Russell, Antoine been? They just don't fight. You remember, it was actually your boy Rick Glazier that was always talking about they had no money. The Amazon deal, they put on 5 fights. It's a shit show. So Romero has beaten 3 of his last 5 opponents, stopping 1 of them, going the distance twice. In his last fight, he defeated Ryan Garcia on May 2nd, 2025. So again, Rolly Romero has not fought in over a year. And that fight was lackluster in itself, right? Prior to that, he had defeated Manuel Jaimes on September 14, 2024. So even before that, he had been off for a long layoff. So, going into that contest, he had been beaten by Pitbull Cruz. So the last time Rolly Romero, we had seen him in a big profile fight was Pitbull Cruz, where we got knocked out. And that's when he said Happy Father's Day or Happy Thanksgiving. They made a bunch of gifts and things like that, right? And then there was the controversy with Ishmael Barroso. I thought he did fairly well against Tank Davis, but he ended up getting knocked out. And, Teofimo Lopez, for his part, has beaten 4 of his last 5 opponents. In his last fight, he lost to Shakur Stevenson on January 31st, 2026 by unanimous decision. And it may as well been 100-1, right? If we're doing scores like basketball, football, because it wasn't even close. Phil Miles says, if you think about it, Rolly's the only fighter that lasted out of all the fighters Mayweather tried to push. God, I can't even think of the other fighters that he tried to push. Kermel Morin is this last one. The link is in the chat. Hit the like for me one time. But I mean, look, you're only as good as your last fight, and trying to hype up Teofimo Lopez is impossible. Now, I still see people on social media. He has some super fans that will hype him up to the death. But even them, they've lost steam. I mean, there's not much you can say for Teofimo Lopez. I mean, what can you say? He's had some lackluster fights before. But as far as trying to hype up this fight, I don't know what you could say about Teofimo Lopez other than he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter against the right opponent. I thought he looked decent against Arnold Barboza, and this is what they're saying. Prior to that, he had won against Arnold Barboza on May 2nd, 2025 by unanimous decision. And, I don't know if that's more Teofimo Lopez or Arnold Barboza, who really is lackluster. Arnold Barboza is another guy that fights to razor close decisions and doesn't seem to have that grit, that ganas, right? When you need to push the envelope. Watching him against Teofimo Lopez, he was content. He was content to box. He wasn't willing to step on the gas, and it cost him. So, it was a decent win by Teofimo Lopez. But again, the last time we seen him was just getting out jabbed. He's talking about there was the excuses. He was beefing with his dad. He alluded to throwing the fight. He said some very suspect things. And even in my conversation with Mr. BDA, I said, the fight seemed fake to me. I don't know. There's just something about it. I just can't put my finger on it, but it just wasn't any. I didn't see any life in Teo. Maybe that's just the greatness of Shakur Stevenson. But, we've seen Teofimo look better. That's what I'm saying. You can see the talent. He has the tools, but there's just, maybe that's the craziness of him. There's something lacking in Teofimo. We've seen it before. Going into that contest, he had beaten Steve Claggett. And before that, he beat Jermaine Ortiz, which is a decent win, but it was controversial, right? Sergeant Apollos, Teos is a cuck. Teo has had some lady troubles, right? He had baby mama drama, and he didn't seem to have any answers. He's with his baby mama. He's not. He's speaking up. He's speaking out. He said he's always had issues. That's the thing with Teofimo. He is not mentally strong, right? Bomb Squad, salute Eric Gomez. Phil Miles says, Mayweather saw him, give him some good work in the gym, saw him as a good potential opponent. They knew they were good match him against Tank for a long time. Now he's outlasted Tank. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Salute BDA. Thank you, Eric Gomez. Hit the like. The link is in the chat. Right? So Teofimo Lopez, he's been hyped and he for good reason, right? He did beat Lomachenko, but an asterisk on that. Lomachenko, what's up, John Blaze? Rolly, yes. Rolly had the Mayweather cosign. Yeah, that I actually spoke on that. That is Rolly Romero based on merit, or is he a nepo baby in the sense of boxing that he's gotten all these opportunities, because people call him the worst boxer they've ever seen. I've seen so many people. They say Rolly is the worst boxer they've ever seen, and it's like, really, the worst boxer? But I think they just mean in terms of being a champion. He is, I want to say, a 3-division champion, or he won a belt 2 times. You know, Teofimo Lopez has been lineal champion, 2-weight division champion. He could be a 3. So, you know, it's crazy that we criticize and we knock these fighters, but they do have the accolades, which makes it so frustrating, right? It's like, gosh, you know what? Like, you want to hype them, but you can't. But if you know boxing and you know what you're watching, you go, man, you can't put anything into these guys. You can. It's just like Ryan Garcia coming up. Look, he looked great against Mario Barra, but man, there's just, you know, you don't know, you can't trust. That's the thing about it, right? Fighters of the past, you know, I hate being the guy talking about past eras, but let me ask you a question. Did Manny Pacquiao ever let anybody down? Did you ever see Manny Pacquiao come in and be like, oh, Manny was having baby mama drama, Manny Pacquiao was having women trauma, or did he always show up? Manny Pacquiao always showed up. You know, what about Oscar De La Hoya? Oscar De La Hoya had his problems out of the ring, but he seemed to always show up, right? The only time he didn't show up was against Felix Sturm, but that was like a weight class out of his era. You know, a fighter like Bernard Hopkins always showed up. Sometimes he jumped out of the ring. But I want to say fighters of the past, they were just, you know, you knew what you were getting. You knew what you were getting. And then it started to change, right? You know, Mike Tyson was a fighter that you didn't know what you were going to get. But I think people just, you know, in his prime, you knew he was there. He was locked in. Once the fame and money came, you know, fighters lose their way. That's part of normal life, right? In athletes in every sport. Once they sign the big contract, once they get a little taste of fame and some poontang, you know, because they live sheltered lives, right? You figure Teofimo Lopez, right? He was sleeping with his dad till he was like an adult, in hotels, training for fights, you know, doing the amateur route. Then they get a little taste of fame and money, and you know, they start to lose their way. That's the story of life, right? It's very hard to remain locked in as a professional fighter. So Teo, best days behind him, his best weight was 135. You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong. So Teo's last great win, that's life, pal. Exactly. Get a little fame, get a little taste of some pussy. You know, you haven't really had it. You're kind of an incel. You're a sheltered athlete, and then you lose your shit. Well, that's life, pal. Teofimo beat Josh Taylor. So 3 years ago was probably the last time that Teofimo was sitting atop the boxing world, right? He was the world junior welterweight and the ring junior welterweight title. Sup, men? What up, man? Activity check. So in terms of recent activity, Teofimo Lopez has been fighting more than Rolando Romero. Rolando Romero last fought a year and 3 months, 17 days. Teofimo's last outing was 6 months. So Romero's last 5 fights have been over a period of 4 years. And, you know, back to what BDA was saying. And this is another thing about trust. You know, when people have favorite fighters, it's because you trust them. You trust Bam Rodriguez. And maybe to a certain extent, you trust David Benavidez. But David Benavidez also looks to be, he slips a lot, you know. What's a fighter that you can trust? You know, it's like one of my guys that I hype up, Virgil Ortiz, but I can't trust him. He's had injuries. He's had self-inflicted injuries, legal trouble. Can't trust him. Can you trust Jaron Ennis? I think you can trust Jaron Ennis. Can you trust, you know, I don't care for Shakur Stevenson, but I think you can trust that Shakur Stevenson is going to show up. A1 free. Can't believe Teo was calling out Boots and Crawford to fight at 154. I think he did it for racial clout, but it ended up backfiring, unfortunately. Well, you know what? You're not wrong, man. I mean, you know, he said whatever monkey wants the banana. He said some things, you know, and I think even when Keyshawn Davis had that racial, got a basket of bananas and fruit, they were blaming Teofimo, or he acted like he did it. But look, I think when Teofimo was confronted by Terrence Crawford, they said he said it was for promotion. And it happens a lot. You know, I'll never lose to a white boy. People have said that. Ali, you know, called Joe Frazier an ugly monkey. So, you know, using race to using race to promote fights is not out of line, and it's a fight. You know, I'm gonna go after your mama, your kids. You know, I don't think in a fight all's fair in love and war. I don't think, you know, unless it gets sickening, you know, unless somebody's a criminal, I think it all's fair game. I kind of like the shit talk, you know, go after his ugly wife, you know, go after his cross-eyed kid, you know, call me a villain. But, you know, if I'm in a fight, I'm going to do everything in my power to win, right? Because now it's about accusing each other of drugs. I'm with you on that. Can't trust Virgil anymore, and it's a damn shame. It's been too long. I can only take so much as a fan. Yeah, it's about trust, man. When you work with fighters, if you work with the fighter, if you're a fighter yourself, you need to be able to trust yourself. You need to be able to trust your team. You know, the promoter, the manager, you know, you're putting a lot into a fighter. You know, we always talk about poor fighter, but, you know, we forget that managers and promoters take care of fighters too. They do. They invest in the fighter. They invest in his undercards. They invest in his main events before he starts making the big money. You know, Top Rank is vicious. They'll cut you. Didn't they cut Edgar Berlanga? Because you couldn't trust Edgar Berlanga anymore. Teo came into a press conference dressed like Toby from Roots in overalls and a cowboy hat. Damn, when did he do that? Is that what it was about? That's crazy. Bernard Hopkins was the worst example. I'll never lose to a white boy, then proceeds to lose to multiple white boys. And again, A1 free. I'm okay with it as long as it's promotion. But it was good for one side is good for the other. So we can't cancel people if they use race or sex or you know, whatever they use to promote a fight. You go for blood. Virgil will be okay. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. But again, can you trust him? Can you trust your favorite fighter? You can trust Naoya Inoue. You know Naoya Inoue will show up, and the day that Naoya Inoue doesn't show up, you know, it's just because he got beat. But I don't think there'll be any excuses. Bam Rodriguez, you can trust that Bam Rodriguez will show up. Teo was doing subliminal message in that press conference was in his clothing. Which press conference are you talking about? Is that the Shakur one? Because that's crazy. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Teo Lopez last 5 fights over a period of 3 years. So Teo Lopez has been a little bit more active, but not much more. I think Virgil will be the type to lose the fight and stay his tummy hurted. Hey, I look, Virgil will be there. He's gonna show up, but there's no excuses. So let's look at the odds for Lopez and Romero. So Teofimo is currently at -330 to win the contest and outright, while you can get 9-4 plus 230 on Rolando Romero. So the Teo Lopez is a 3-1 favorite. I think that's a good assessment. So Romero is the champion, but Teo Lopez is the favorite. Teo's best wins are against handicapped fighters. Josh Taylor, you're saying Josh Taylor was washed, and then you're saying Lomachenko was hurt. Teo should wash Rolly. Well, Teo Lopez is getting favored, and he should. So he has a 70% chance of winning. Lopez opened as a -250 favorite, and but the price has now gone wider at +10. Romero opened at +200, which is shortened by 80. So it looks like Romero, more people are, betting on Rolly because that's a good bet. Was Barboza fight? Look it up for Teo clothing. Oh, okay. Well, why would he do that against Barboza when Barboza's Latino, right? Lopez was saying he's a Honduran, then he's Ecuadorian. I don't know. He's claimed he's Spanish, right? He's Ecuadorian and Spanish. But yeah, well, they tried to cancel Teo Lopez, right? Rolly for the win. Yeah, you know what, man? I am rooting for Rolly Romero, and there's only one reason why I'd be rooting for Rolando Romero, right? My reasoning for rooting for Rolando Romero is I would want to diminish the Shakur Stevenson win, right? Tejo looked like saying Top Rank was pro-black. Remember, he did. He said I have the famous clip where he says they want the black fighter, they can have the black fighter. He was openly saying that. So look, Teofimo is a troll. He's an outright admitted troll. And he says he's just trying to sell the fight. He called out Jerron Ennis. He called out Terrence Crawford. He's a name in the sport. He's had some good wins. He is accomplished and borderline 3-division champion. I want to say that with the Teofimo win, he is borderline Hall of Fame. Is Frank Bay out of line by saying that Teofimo Lopez is borderline Hall of Fame? Hit the like, hit the link. Hit the link for your boy one time. Teo just mad no one comes to his fights. Well, Teofimo should be an attraction, right? He's from New York. But he's not Puerto Rican. People may look at him and think he's Puerto Rican, but he's Honduran. Teo is very low IQ. It's funny hearing him to put words together to make a coherent sentence. He's a goofball. Teo sold his ass to Shakur because all of a sudden Takeover Promotions is a thing. All of a sudden, he's the first guy to zone signs by passing promoters. That's an excellent point, John Blaze. And, at first when they were saying Teo threw the fight, it was fixed. It was fake. He was alluding to it. I said, nah, Shakur just beat him. Teo's had struggles. But when you put it in this context, how do you really got to ask the question, how do you fall, Never Sober said it, how do you fall upwards or fail upwards? I agree, Frank Bank. Yes, always agree with Frank Bank. Teo is a philosopher. A philosopher of what? Bullshit? Salute Bulbasaur. Teofimo, he takes after his dad. They're clowns. It's a clown show. That's what it is. It's a clown show. You can't take him serious. But again, that goes back to the fight itself. It's a playground fight. It is two kids. It is two children fighting. They are mentally at the level of children. It just seems that way. Hondurans SP little them to make a dent as a fan base. Really think about this fight. This is, Oscar during his heyday was still a man. He was a man, right? And Naoya Inoue is a man. Aim for death. Where death is where life begins. Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, that's in his Aristotle phase. Show me your power, right? Phil Miles says, I think I'm at the point where I can care less if a lot of these American fighters fight or not anymore. I'm starting to get a little jaded. They get paid way too much and fight way too little. Well, Phil, all we can do is complain because, we're going to watch. I'm doing a boxing show. I'm going to watch. The only thing is if you're paying. That's the only question, right? Are you paying for it? Are the people going to pay for it? And will it be an entertaining fight? Hey, Frank, salute, Jackie Primas, salute. Jackie, answer me a question. Are you interested in this fight? Do you care about Teo and Rolando Romero? You cooking, bruh? Nah, the chat is cooking. The chat is bringing up the points. I'm just, what I am is a canoe and a feeder, right? I take in and I move it out from your lips to my ears, right? Team Fire Stick. I like to get a gauge and a pulse on what the people are thinking. If I wanted to just hear myself, I would just speak to a wall, but I need to speak to the people because the people are the fans. We together create the narrative. Haha, you're right. I'm still going to light at the barbecue and watch these jokers. That's the thing. We're suckers and they know it, but I will pay. You're the vessel. Yes, I am the vessel for all the love and hate and everything in between, right? Yeah, I'm interested who will win. I got Rolly by UD. Look, man, it has the potential, just like these characters, because they're characters. Frankie takes it. Hey, I'm a giver, not a taker. It's better to give than receive. So I don't take it nowhere nowhere that you can, you can't see. Put it that way. I think this fight will be a sparring match. Teo versus Rolly. Jackie, salute Queen. Spitting game, man. But again, these are characters. They literally are characters. And Rolly Romero has lost the edge. Where did the real Rolly Romero go? John Blade was talking about it. Look at Teofimo. Look at that performance, and then he gets gifted a bigger deal and a signed by exclusive for more money. for more money. This fight will flop badly, though. I'm a hardcore that buys 90% of pay-per-views, and there's no way I'm paying for this. Flop. Frank Bay chat is the new Tinder. Hey, man, that's what it's for, man. It's the people need to be happy. You know, though you can't go through life miserable, right? Bring a little happiness to people. And if people want to hook up, I'm all for it. Tio probably knows how to beat him from all those sparring. I hope I'm wrong. That's another excellent point. These guys have history. That's another thing that we're not talking about. Tio bent over. It's pathetic. Bulbous is Troy after time on other channels. I'm aware of Bulbous, and I welcome everybody. That's the thing, right? I welcome everybody. If I have to take a time, Coach Edward, salute.
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's
Now,
going on?
Go ahead and cook. I'm just listening to you. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
gonna jump in. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going live for the chat? No, I don't think so, because it's hard to listen and watch. You know, I like to just watch and score sometimes, but overall, I don't like doing a live fight chat because I just want to drink and eat and be entertained. That's what I'm in it for, is to be entertained. At the end of the day, I was driving thinking of how I'm going to frame this live. It's like, Tia versus Raleigh is a circus fight. It's a playground fight. How am I going to frame this? And I said, it's entertainment. At the end of the day, all of it it's simple entertainment, right? It's just something simple. We sit down, we watch a fight, and then we talk about it. And that's kind of the problem, is that these conversations, they actually get heated. People argue and beef, like my boy Eddie. Me and him will beef, and then I won't see him for a while. But it's cool. Like, I don't want it to be I want it to be entertaining. Oh, Eddie, can you talk? You can talk. You say whatever. You talk for a couple of minutes. Can you do that for me?
Yeah. I like the fight, man. I like the Rolly fight, man. I'm a boxing fan, so I tune in. I watch two winos fight in the alley, man. I like the game. So if it's a boxing match coming on, I'm gonna watch it. Now, people may think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna go on with Rolly. I think Rolly gonna beat Tio. I'm gonna tell you why. To me, Tio's confidence is shattered. Got shattered confidence. I seen the interview that him and his father did. They was beefing with each other, openly beefing and arguing on the interview. That's not a good sign when you beefing with your head trainer and your dad. You're not in a good space. And it seems like they're never in a good space. It's always something with T.O. Senior, T.O. Junior. They always got some type of drama going on, man. So to me, that bleeds over into the fight. That's the last thing you want, is to have a bad camp or be in conflict with your trainer. And not only that, your trainer happened to be your dad. So that's like a double whammy. And I can't understand for the life of me why T.O. Senior is still in the corner. I mean, you got to give Brian Norman Jr. credit. At least he was able to say, look, Dad, I love you. He was able to separate boxing from, his fatherhood or whatever. The dad, I love you, but I got the best of my friend. I think the best move right now is for me to get another trainer, because Devin Haney fight, we all saw what happened in the Devin Haney fight. I can't take nothing. Making excuses. Excuse. Oh, I had a bad camp, or I was sick, and all those things may be true. People don't care. People don't care about your excuses. They don't care about why you lost or whatever. They just know you lost, and nobody wants to hear about an excuse, a bad camp, baby mama drama issue. Tio always got some type of drama going on. Then he's always shooting himself in the foot all the time. talking about monkeys and bananas and all this and all this stuff. He just goes around and talking to himself.
Oh my goodness, Eddie, your audio's terrible. Sorry about that.
Oh my bad. I didn't know. I didn't know it was bad.
No, it's okay. At least you were saying something. Hopefully you didn't drive it, take over.
I hope not. Hey, is my audio still bad? Do I need to come back in?
It's kind of bad. Yeah, you got to. This dude's mic was trash. Damn, Eddie.
All right, bro. My bad. My fault.
It's okay. Hop back in. Tell him wipe the chicken grease off his phone. Damn. Brutal. Sorry about that. Thank you for being patient. I apologize. Where were we? Rolly will suck Teo's toes in the 8th. Yeah. Okay. So back to Eddie. You gotta leave the studio and then hop back in. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, these guys are boys. They're friends. How long have they known each other? They said they used to share toothbrushes and give each other baths. They took baths together. Oof. But these guys are friends. Amanda Serrano is fighting. Are you guys going to watch that fight? Amanda Serrano. Is anybody interested in that fight? Did anybody watch the Clarissa Shields fight? I'm interested in that. Will Junior Lopez have another meltdown in the corner? I think Junior, everybody talks about Teo's dad, right? The link is in the chat. Hit the like for your boy one time. But Junior Lopez is Junior Lopez. Why do we expect anything different from Teo's dad? You've seen the guy. He's a camera hog. He likes to be front and center. I don't know why people expect anything different. Right? Teofimo Sr. is a narcissist. He is the center of attention, right? He wants to be the show. And Teo has had that problem, right? They beef. They literally beef. Okay. You're back.
Hey, how's the audio?
It's a little choppy still.
Dang. Well, look, man, I don't want to mess you. I don't want to mess your your stream up, man. So I guess I just fall back in the chat.
It's okay. Try again. I don't know. Are you on your phone or computer? You got to do. Do you have new?
No, I'm on the phone. I got a new phone last week. But it's a brand new phone.
It sounds better now. It's fine. If it starts breaking up, then I'll let you know.
Okay, like I said, I don't want to mess your live up, man. I know you got people listening to you, man.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, like with this fight, I like this fight, man. I like boxing, man. So I'm interested. Anytime it's a boxing match going on, I'm gonna watch it. And I'm picking Rolly to beat Teo, man.
Is that because Teo's a racist piece of shit?
Nah. I just think Teo, his camp, man. Him and his dad is already beefing. I don't know if you've seen, they already arguing with each other. They had that. Man, that was crazy. That reminded me of like when Floyd Mayweather, his dad got into it, but only difference is Teo's not Floyd. Yeah, that's the only difference. Floyd Mayweather can compartmentalize and still go out there and win the fight. Teo can't do that. Teo's a head case, man. If you get inside his head, he's done. He's cooked, man. And he lacks confidence sometimes. We've seen Teo struggle in the past. Said, do I still have it? And then we know with his dad is like, come on, bro.
Yeah, your audio's coming in and out now.
Okay, I'll fall back, man.
Again. It's okay. Try again. You can try one more time. Try to fix it, dude. Sorry about that. I mean, he's trying. Eddie's trying, man. But, Eddie is a boxing coach and he works with children. Salute, Eddie. Edward. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he actually is interested in this fight because I think he's a purist, But I don't know if he likes Shakur. Type Eddie, aren't you a boxing purist, or do you prefer the boxer punchers like Jaron Ennis? Because I know he's a huge Jaron Ennis fan. I think that's what he really wanted to talk about. I think Teo will pull it off by decision. Damn, Frank Bass said, get lost. Get that trash mic out of here. Nah, man, you know what, man? Again, anybody and everybody's welcome, It's just, I don't do it to talk to myself. I do it to talk to the people, the fans. This is what makes boxing go, man, is the conversation. Really think about it. Where's these fights like Tio and Rolly without us talking about them? There ain't nobody at the gym. There ain't nobody at work that knows who these guys are. They might know who Teofimo is, but we really live in a bubble. Our boxing conversations exist in the tiny bubble that we have. And we are our only friends, and we are the only ones that care. All right? Frank Bay, for the people, by the people. That's life, pal. Exactly. You know, as you can see, Rolly Romero looking, working with Ishmael Salas, and they sound, the punches do sound legit. If we can, if I can get some sound in here. Tell me what you guys think about Rowley? Let's listen and watch this clip. I think Edgar Berlanga was making fun of Rollies. You know, people call him Rollies and how he sounds. But that, you know, Rolly Romero did start boxing late though. Sergeant Apollos, who's your top 3 bar area boxers, Frankie? Damn, that's a hard one. I think Nonito Donaire is from the Bay, right? Nonito Donaire is from the Bay Area. Andre Ward is from the Bay Area. And I think there's one other legend that is from the Bay Area. I want to say there was a guy like Tiger Tony Lopez from Sacramento. DL Corrales was from Sacramento, if that counts, if you're counting that. Rolly naturally bigger at 147, so good weight for him. Well, look, he hits hard. The guy can crack. Listen again.
Qué marico. Porque está bajito, hacer.
You can hear the crack. I mean, the guy hits hard. That's one of the things that he was known for, right? He doesn't have a lot of fights, but he packs a punch. He knocked Ryan Garcia down. But in the skills department, we've seen that Rolando Romero lacks skills. Yo, Morb DC. Yo, Morb, where you been, man? Damn. I'm used to you being here. You have all the names and shit on tap. I thought that Rolly Romero did good against Tank Davis. How many rounds did he last against Tank Davis again? Can somebody give me a count? How many? He lasted 9 rounds against Tank Davis. I should have known you were Norteño, Frank. That's right, Puro Norte, fool. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm from the North, right? But that don't make me. I make it. You know, but it's all one love, man. We're all the same. We all bleed the same, right? But back to Rolando Romero and Teofimo. They're boys, they're buddies, they're pals. They used to hang out. They used to sleep together. They used to paint each other's toenails. Nah. Frank Bay XIV. Don't put that jacket on me. We have Southerners up here too. Puro Sud. Sud 13, right? Sheeraz is terrified of Jenabeg. Oh yeah, I heard about that news too. But you know, that's one thing Teofimo Lopez was saying. He was making it a point to say, you know, we're friends, but you know, we're gonna fight. You know, we're not gonna let friends get in the way. I think there was a time that they said that they would never fight, and now that, you know, they said they're gonna put their friendship to the side. But can you really? Sureño, puro, yeah, 13, the 13s and the 14s. Frankie, a northerner like BMB. Yeah, man. You know, we rep that north side, black and brown. No, there was an actual album called Black and Brown that had the brothers and the you know, the I want to say the dudes from Mission, San Francisco, right? On a rap album. You got to be hardcore for this fight, to be honest. It's a Cuban and a Honduran. Yeah, when you really break it down, it's interesting, right? A Cuban and a Honduran, because most people are thinking it's like Latin dudes, it's like Mexican dudes, right? But in reality, it's a Cuban and a Honduran. Now, you know, they could have cosplayed and pretended to be, you know, Mexicans or claim to be half Mexican, but, you know, they claim their roots. But the reality is that what can you really expect? Yeah, I really don't have anything on Teofimo. You know, I usually save the features, but there really hasn't been anything interesting. I think it was just the dad fighting. I don't even know if I saved that. But you know, yeah, I just want to see someone get flattened. That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody get knocked out. Most people think Teo's Puerto Rican. Well, yeah, because he's from New York. Rolly's half Brazilian too on his mom's. Is he? Vergil Ortiz can make a legacy at 160 by being the first Mexican American Unified champ at 160. It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard. That's the other news. You guys are talking about some other news, which we can get to. But as far as the Rolly and Teofimo, that's the thing about it, man, is that I think it'd be better if it was a grudge match. I think it'd be better if they turned on to like, you know what, this guy's not my friend. He's a player hater. You know, we're gonna kick each other's ass. But they just seem to be playing too nice, a little to my liking. T Swoop says the corrupt powers to be in the boxing business are moving Boots in the way of avoiding Virgil from destroying and exposing Boots on wheels. You ain't never lied. We will get to that. There's a lot of news, right? There's a lot of news, but I just want who's gonna win. Like I said, Teofimo Lopez should outbox Willie Romero because Willie Romero is not that good, right? He is not a good boxer. He has power, but we've seen in fights that he can get outboxed. He's been slept, so he can't get tapped on the chin. I think nobody was impressed with his win over Ryan Garcia. That's the other thing. I don't think anybody was impressed by that. So, really, if you're picking Rolly Romero, you're only picking it because you don't like Teofimo. Belize, it's another South. I know where Belize is. I know I've heard of Belize. Virgil should chase Carlos Adames or Aaron McKenna for their belts. He's going to have a hard time, man. It looks like the politics are against him for right now. But, they're landing in Vegas. And the fight itself, will it do good? People are saying it's going to flop. Yeah, it looks like right now it's a flop. It's a flopperoo. It's probably going to flop. But I don't think they care about it anymore. Sergio Mora has something to say on it. He says, Rolly, what does Sergio Mora say? He says, Rolly Teofimo is a fascinating matchup. Both similar height and reach and age. But separating them is momentum. Rolly is coming off his biggest win, while Teo's coming off a big loss. We have a champion with the win at his back and a former champ with his back against the ropes. That's an interesting way of painting it. That is but one thing I've heard, one thing that I would pick Teofimo, I want Rolly Romero to win because I would like to, it would be fun to laugh at the Shakur Stevenson fans, right? Because when William Zepeda got that win, right? Everybody hailed Shakur Stevenson because they said, oh man, Shakur is such a beast. Look at how good he did against William Zepeda. William Zepeda's a beast. So that makes Shakur look better. So, if Teofimo wins, that's going to give Shakur Stevenson another leg to stand on, right? They're going to just praise Shakur Stevenson even more. But if Rolly Romero just say knocks out Teofimo cold, right? Knocks him stupid in the left field, then that would denigrate Shakur Stevenson's win, right? His best win. Because people are saying, oh, look, he beat a lineal champion. He's the man at 140. It would really ruin the hype that Shakur Stevenson fans. So that's kind of one of the reasons I'm rooting for Rolly Romero. Phil Miles says, this should be a confidence builder for Teo after that frustrating Stevenson fight. That's true, but you're not gonna get any credit for this fight. Each guy, right? I mean, if we're speaking reality is I don't think anybody gets any credit for this fight. It's a playground fight. This is a specially made fight for two goofballs. For two guys with something, that we know something's off. A little loose in the upstairs, right? I got Rolly beating Teo. See, but you're not gonna get any credit for beating Teofimo. What people would try to say, maybe I'm thinking, is Shakur Stevenson beat it out of Teo, right? That he ruined Teofimo. But he just looks so awful. Maybe if he won a round or two, but I don't know if you could even give him a round. You couldn't even give him 2 rounds, right? So Rolly Romero's not gonna get any credit. All it's going to do is make Shakur Stevenson's win look lesser, in my opinion. Rolly Romero was landing good counters on Isaac in the early rounds. He was. Rolly is Ryan's daddy. Come on now. I can't argue that. You know what, Bones? I know you love to hate. You are the chat's one of the chat's top haters, and you know I love it. I appreciate it. We'd be nothing without you. Frank Bay is flambeing. Yes. Cooking is overused. I appreciate it, but let's say flambe. Maybe flambe sounds a little too flaming, because I was saying Frank Bay is flaming. But let's break it down, right? Tio beating I love Mexican boxing. Well, who doesn't? Everybody does, right? Your mama, your baby mama, right? Is your favorite, your mom's favorite fighter is a Mexican, right? What is that saying? Like the rappers say, your baby's mama's favorite rapper is me. BDA laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at, but please do tell. Share with the room, BDA. Are you laughing at Frank Bay? Oh, because I said the flaming content. Yeah, I used it unironically, and then you guys pointed it out, and I said, oh, let me take that back. I have to explain flambe, what flambe is to you uncultured people. Frank Bay, Benihana. Yeah, chop suey, mofo. That's a little oasis. Hit the like, man. Hit the like since Frank Bay is flaming. I mean, flambeing. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way, sir. You know, can we get the likes up, though, since we're flaming over here? But, you know, Rolly Romero, Teofimo get credit. Can you give Teofimo credit for beating Rolly Romero? I mean, when we say, just saying it now is like a joke, right? Saying it is an inside joke. Rolly Romero. You know, imagine what when we look back at this era, it's going to be Rolly Romero. I mean, you can't even say Rolly Romero seriously, right? It's like Rolly Romero. You know, you say it in that kind of question mark way, kind of sarcastic way. Rolly Romero. It's disrespectful, though. The guy's a 3-division champion, right? He's a champion. Just complete disrespect. And Frank Bay is not having it. We don't disrespect fighters. No baby mama here. I'm a God-fearing man. Repent. Damn, where'd you get that? You know, where'd you get that? Where did I say something that made put the fear in you? Rolly Romero, you don't get any credit for beating Rolly Romero, right? So this fight is a playground fight. It doesn't move the boxing world forward. It's just a fun fight. But again, as we were questioning on the BDA show, could it be lackluster? The Teofimo performance was lackluster. It was boring, right? Versus Shakur Stevenson. You know, we blame Shakur Stevenson because we say, hey, man, step on the gas. Your fights are boring. But at the same time, Teofimo was just that bad. Rolly Romero was not in a barn burn against Ryan Garcia. It was a very lackluster fight. So are we dupes because we're putting faith in these fighters? Like I said, trusting that we're gonna get a good boxing match, get a good fight. Because one of two things could happen. Rolly Romero can come in there and just completely knock, you know, Teofimo to the next aisle, knock his head off, you know, knock him out cold. I think that would be the best thing to happen, right? Is that Rolly Romero knocks out Teofimo Lopez and kind of cements his legacy, right? Because at that point, you know, Teofimo is on the cusp of Hall of Fame, right? You can kind of say that Teofimo is in the conversation. And if he wins this fight, just strictly facts, just strictly stats, you know, because we talk about champions. Duranez is a 2-belt champion. Xander Zayas is unified champion. So we hail the belts a lot. We do. But when it comes to Ryan Garcia and Rolly, we disrespect them as champions. So a lot of our champion talk doesn't make sense when we break it down, right? But they are champions. Teofimo, the Hall of Fame is a joke. Well, it's a legitimate conversation with Teofimo. I mean, let's talk about it. 3-division champion. He lost to a Hall of Famer. He beat a Hall of Famer. I think if he wins this fight, wins another championship, he's on the cusp of Hall of Fame. It's just a reality. The bug's already saying Foster gonna school Nava. Yeah. We already know that yin yang talk. We'll get to that. That's the other fight that's on the radar. But we're flambeing on Tio and Rolly. The playground fight. So the best thing that can happen, but Teofimo, I said one of two things. The second thing that could happen is Teofimo just completely goes in there and schools Rolando Romero, right? Just completely schools him in a boxing match. Just, moving, shooking and jiving, styling on him, piecing him up with pot shots. Rolly Romero going, swinging and missing, and just getting totally discouraged, right? Belts only matter when it's convenient. That seems to be boxing talk circa 2026. If Nava loses, Mexican boxing is dead. It ain't never gonna die, right? Like they always say, boxing is dead. Nothing can kill it. Mexican boxing will always be a topic of conversation, right? Because you're gonna need that side. Exactly, styling, profiling, like my boy Tio. I was a fan of Teofimo at one point. I was duped. Frank-based styling and profiling. I was a fan of Teofimo. He was doing the backflips. Him and his dad were talking that shit. He seemed to be legit. When Zepeda beat Roach, did Mexican boxing live, Bones? Good question, Bones. But I don't think Bones answers the question. Nava can't lose the fight. It'll be a bad look. Well, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. They're going to fight and expect Oshaki Foster to stink out the joint and get a unanimous decision. Is the undercard any good? I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know. We don't know yet. So, like I said, the best thing that can happen is Rolly Romero wins in knockout, exciting fashion. That's the best thing that can happen for boxing. What could also happen is Teofimo styles on him, beats him in a boring match, and Rolly Romero retires, and we probably don't hear from Rolly Romero anymore, right? And I wish we had a fight on the undercard to talk about, but it doesn't seem to be anything really there. The undercard is lacking, so boxing is really sticking it to us with this fight, right? You would think they'd throw us a bone because they're giving us this fight. But I think the way boxing looks at it, and when I say boxing, it's like, well, who is boxing? The powers that be. Well, who are the powers that be? Well, the people that make the fights. It's like nobody really knows. So when I speak, it's kind of in this clandestine thing, like there's a puppet master. But it's really just how I think when they listen to boxing talk, they look at social media, how we analyze the fights. They break it down. They go, boxing fans are stupid. All we have to do is throw these two names and they'll buy it. They'll eat it up. The undercard, who cares? Nobody cares about the undercard. And it sucks, man. It sucks because they really dupe us. Tio is in his MC Hammer stage. Bumps and rubs, not too legit to quit no more. Yo, Frank, what up, Alfredo? Zepeda beating Roach is a good win, but he still lost the chicane. But Bones answered it. They're trying to pin Cameron versus Rayo, but don't push or force blacks to fight blacks. Foster already had 3 L's. Would he matter more than Roach? So you guys are on the other topic, the other conversations we can get to. But legitimate question. I know you're watching it, but is anybody buying the fight? This is one of those fights that you can't blame people for not buying, right? I mean, they really are pushing the envelope, and they are really testing our intelligence, insulting our intelligence. That's one of my favorite sayings, right? Is I hate when, that's why I can't watch the news or politics. I just always feel like my intelligence is being insulted. And I feel like this pay-per-view fight is insulting our intelligence as boxing fans. There's just no way you can legitimize it. There's no way that you can try to sell it with how awful Tio Lopez looked. And we haven't seen Rolly Romero in over a year. Foster should have lost to Conceição. So the other news that was I was just gonna move to that. Who do you think Virgil goes at 160, Frank? You know what? Interesting enough. That was the topic conversation, right? I guess a news report came out that Teofimo was Vergil Ortiz was gonna fight Jermell Charlo. That was the news, right? I guess somebody put out a report. Vergil Ortiz was moving up to 160 and he was gonna fight Jermell Charlo, and it turned out to be fake news. And that's kind of a problem we have in boxing, right? Is people clickbait. They like to put out articles, late breaking news, right? So here it is. I was looking for this. No bullying, but still watching No Life. Yeah, we're getting pimped. Boxing is pimping us by asking us to fork over for $80 to go watch Rolly and Teofimo. But switching gears, in other news, Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. Virgil's Mexicans look bad. Break it down, Bobas. Break it down. You can't blame Virgil for that. You can't say he's making people look bad. I mean, look. What can you say about Vergil Ortiz that hasn't been said already? You guys, everybody's against him. But let's hear what Robert has to say.
If he really feels, I think Boots, if he really feels comfortable and his team feels that they could beat Virgil, why not? We're available November. Let's do it. And then if you beat Virgil, then go after the unifications and undisputed. But in the meantime, show the world that you are better than Virgil. He won't do it. He won't do it. They're going after Kelly, who if they make him fight by November, a doctor will clear him. They will clear him, but it's not the right thing.
So there it is. Robert Garcia is saying that Jaron Ennis is ducking Vergil Ortiz for the third time. In case you didn't hear him, he said they're ready. They're available in November. And Jaron Ennis is going to go in the Kelly route. Jaron Ennis is fighting 4 pillow-fisted fighters back-to-back. Lil Charlo's next opponent is going to be someone along the lines of Cornflake LaManna. It's going to be hilarious seeing Virgil's dad cry when his son loses. And here's what I was thinking. And that's why Coach Edward came on, because I know he wanted to talk about this. And hopefully he's listening, because he's one of Jaron Ennis's #1 fans. But here's what I'm thinking about. Look, Vergil Ortiz could most people are going to say Jaron Ennis knocks out Vergil Ortiz, right? Most people, that's what they're thinking, because they've seen what he did against Zayas. We haven't seen Virgil. He's kind of messed up his career. And like Bones is saying, it's going to be funny. But here's the difference. And I think here's the difference between a fan like me and maybe Vergil Ortiz fans, some of you people that are fans listening, watching, and fans like Jaron Ennis, Team Ennis, right? Here's the difference. There's 69 comments, and it'll be interesting. Maybe this will help you guys see the way people are thinking. Unbiased Brim says, Robert, I think you are a phenomenal trainer, but Virgil's problems fall in front of him for not making Oscar and his manager Rick push for Fedora. Ade Odaladipo, he forgotten he's fighter that he's been ducking around with legal issues was Boots had tried, and we'll get on with them. They tried, avoided Boots 2 or 3 times. We have forgotten that. Boots stepped in the ring and challenged them, but they turned down the fight. Virgil lacks proper management. So everybody's against Vergil Ortiz, right? Cannot win the media game. Boxing fans forgive, but don't forget. Vergil Ortiz said, if I had to pick, this guy made a list. I'm going to be honest, it would be Spence. Promoter, we have the upper hand. Do these guys forget how we forgot how Boots went to this fight, called him out his face? So everybody's against Vergil Ortiz, right? They don't want to see the fight. Yeah, because Virgil wasted his time. If you listen to how Robert talk about Boots chasing the belt instead of fighting Virgil, you understand Virgil is a 30-year-old prospect. So why hasn't Virgil won or fought for a belt? Nobody wants to fight. This is the problem. This is the problem with boxing fans, and this is what I'm saying. So hopefully you guys are bearing with me. Virgil's a punk. Eric Gomez, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. That's right. I do have 99 problems, and a bitch might be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Frank Bay ain't a super player out here. You know, a woman can get to you. Give me a good reason someone should fight Virgil. Well, damn. I mean, look. What's the point? What's the point? You guys have made up your mind. What is Virgil and his tiny reach gonna do to Boots? Virgil moving to his 4th division with no belt. Turkey already exposed Boots for turning down the Ortiz fight 3 times. So this is what's crazy to me. This is the crazy part about boxing and boxing fans. And this is the Frank Bay breakdown. If you're listening, hit the like, hit the link if you agree or disagree. Do you want to see the fight? Forget the belts, forget the politics, forget Boots turning down the fight 2 times, forget Virgil. Do you want to see the fight or not? What is it? Do you guys want to see the fight? You'd rather see Ennis and Josh Kelly? You'd rather see Vergil Ortiz against, I don't know, throw a name out there that he could possibly fight. You guys don't want to see the fight? That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. You guys don't want to see the fight. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Because that's my whole point is, look, whether you're Mexican boxing or you're black boxing or you're for black fighters or you're against black fighters or BDA has entered the studio. I trust it's the legit BDA.
You shouldn't do that, by the way. You should always. You
know.
can't. Well, mate, we'll talk about it later, man. But yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Good show. Good
Thank
show.
you.
Frank, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I'm just listening right now. Yeah. Cook. Flambe, as they're saying in the chat.
Okay.
Flambe.
Flambe. So, well, whenever BDA decides to step in, we'll let him step in. But that's the point I'm trying to make. This is the Frank Bay thing with this, my hot take, clip, whatever. Do you guys want to see the fight? Because this is the problem we get wrapped in these games, right? Like, look, Bam and Inui are talking about fighting, and both sides are starting to play this game where Bam, Inui's trying to push a date. Robert's talking about that too, and they're kind of playing these A side B side games now, right? And it really comes down to, do you want to see the fight? Yes or no? Forget everything you've heard. Forget everything that you know about these guys. Is this a good fight? And my whole point about it has been, look, see, this is the problem. I'll be like, I'll side with Virgil, right? I'll give you all the reasons why, you guys are hating on Virgil and it's really unfair, but all that doesn't matter, right? And if he gets knocked out, you'll come back and you'll point and you'll say, oh, look, Virgil got knocked out. It's like we said, he never had a shot. Ennis is the best, yada, 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 right? And it's like, okay. But I just want to see the fight. If Virgil gets knocked out, then okay, shit, go fight Fundora. But I've always maintained I want to see the fight. That's my whole agenda. Is I want to see the fight. Whether Virgil wins or loses, I want to see the fight. And that's all that really matters to me. Is that I hope we get the fight. I mean, Josh Kelly and Ennis, it could be a decent fight. Most people are predicting a blowout. But which fight would you rather see? I am the A side in these YTBC streets. If you side with Virgil, you're siding with a little bitch. Boots is not lineal champion at 154. So I haven't seen anybody say if they want to see the fight.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to see the fight? It's the number 1 guy versus the number 2 guy according to Ring Magazine, and I think even ESPN. So I don't know. I think the other thing you got to consider, Frank, is this fight would probably be pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of these people, they're not going to pay for it. So when you ask people, do you want to see it, their opinion, I don't know if it really carries any weight if they're not going to pay for it.
Well, are you saying they're thieves, BDA?
I mean, I didn't say that. I'm not using that nomenclature. But what I'm saying is, nowadays, and by the way, I'm not putting them down necessarily for that, because I mean, I think at this point it's become ontologically moral to say, yeah, you know what, these shit cards are on pay-per-view now. Maybe it's acceptable now to shoot for a link, if you know what I mean.
Facts.
Shoot me a link, bro.
I agree. I mean, I think you're being exploited, right? You exploit the exploiter.
Well, you don't need to sound like a commie, but yeah, you're right.
Is that from the book of Karl Marx? What I
That's
just
right.
said? Down with the oppressor.
That's absolutely correct. I'm putting it out on the line there. No, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing. This fight. Look, and at some point, we might have to put a moratorium on it, Frank. This Ortiz and this fight.
Hello, sir. Okay, I don't know what happened to Mr. BDA. He is in Canada. As he was saying, I think he was saying put a moratorium, which means for the people lacking the vocabulary, stop talking about it because it's a fantasy fight. It's not gonna happen. That's live, pal. Hop in anytime, BDA. You're still here.
It's not that. I don't understand why people are so interested in that fight. He has a belt. Okay, what does the belt do for you though? Because that's what they say. Well, the belt is gonna get him more money. What does it do for you?
You're coming in and out, Mr. BDA. Yeah, he is. We're losing you, Mr. BDA. Can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear us. Sorry about that. But yeah, this has been a big conversation. There's been a lot of what is it? Boba said, we focus on the fight schedule. I'm sick of rumors and negotiation reports. Yeah, no, I mean, but it's the topic of conversation, right? Because I think it's how we grade fighters, how we talk about fighters, and I would rate Jaron Ennis lower if he were to choose, according to Robert Garcia, if he were to choose Kelly over Ortiz. But that's what you can expect when you talk boxing, when you know boxing. Kick him like you did, Coach Eddie. Come on, keep it even, Steven. Well, Blaze, the thing is BDA has like a professional setup, so it's just technical difficulties with Eddie. With Edward, he's had that issue before, and I think he just needs to invest in a mic. Like I have a mic. So, and I know Mr. BDA has a mic, and I expect that of anybody that I talk to. Okay, well, Mr. BDA, if you can hop back in when you get the opportunity. Okay, he's back. Salute.
I don't appreciate being kicked out, number one.
Well, I don't boot anybody.
I'm kidding. Well, I don't know if I cut off. I was in the middle of a rant, but I was just saying that.
Yeah, man, we missed it.
I was just saying, long story short, I think we should stop talking about this fight because I think it's destined to not happen.
But who's to blame?
I mean, they both. I think they're both to blame to a certain degree. But now, I mean, again, Vergil Ortiz is free now. Why wouldn't the Ennis side pursue the fight? Well, we're looking for a belt. Okay, what does that do? Like I was saying, what does that do for us, the fans? Because whenever I talk to people, I said, "Hey, Ennis, what's a better fight, Ennis or Ortiz or Ennis Kelly?" And then I hear, "Well, but he's fighting for a belt." Okay, so what does that do for you as a boxing fan? Because the thing they tell me is Ennis is gonna make more money. Okay, again, what does that do for you? How does that benefit you? The benefit for me would be watching Ortiz versus Ennis, which is one of the best fights to make. The best fight to make at 154. Ennis versus Josh Kelly is a waste of time, especially since you already know what's going to happen. So what is the benefit here for the fans if that happens? If that Kelly versus Ennis happens, he wants. Okay, so Ennis would get a belt, he would get more money, and again, how does that benefit us?
They get to charge you another pay-per-view.
Exactly. On top of that,
they'll charge you for the Kelly Boots pay-per-view. Ortiz will go in a different direction, and then he'll try to set up a pay-per-view fight. So they figured they can get a couple pay-per-view matches in between.
Yeah, they're trying to milk this. They're probably going to end up fighting. I think Sobers is the one who said this. They're probably going to fight when they're 33, 34, like Spence versus Crawford, and it's going to be a letdown.
Yeah, no, I just like the conversation, but I'm with you as far as burying it because it's just a fantasy fight. But these guys like to argue about it. That's why I don't know if you were listening. Coach Edward came up here.
Oh, really? I missed that part.
Well, yeah, because I put in the description I was going to talk about the Ortiz and Ennis situation. So I think he was here to give me a piece of his mind, you know.
And what was his point of view?
Well, he's going to be with Team Ennis. Well, you see in the comment. Can you see the comments in here when I showed what Robert was saying? It's all just bashing Vergil Ortiz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, why is my shit? Well, they're all saying Virgil messed up, right? So he can't get the fight. And that's why I'm like, wait a minute. So you guys don't that's what you don't want to see the fight? Like these guys are saying everything to not make the fight happen, right?
Look at that. Nobody cares. He has no belts, and that's Boots' goal. Like, why? It's interesting because some of these guys were the same people that were saying 2 or 3 years ago when Tank Davis wasn't fighting anybody, but he don't care about the belts. It's about the money. It's about the bag. Now these guys are like, well, Ennis doesn't care about the money. He cares about the belts. So which one is it? And some people could say, well, we're just explaining what they want. Okay, but we get that Jerome Boots Ennis wants the belts. Why are you okay with that as a fan? Why are you okay? And I'm talking to these guys. Why are they okay with Ortiz and Ennis not fighting? Well, he wants the belts. I get that. But shouldn't he say fuck the belts and fight Ortiz instead? And that's where you start hearing the convoluted arguments that come forward. We need to, you know what, man? I wish more people would jump on and try to give you their opinion on this, because I mean, I would like to ask those people that as a consumer, why are you so obsessed with supporting Ennis, who's only going after the belts against subpar opposition instead of fighting the best guy, next best guy in the division? I mean, but okay, I got a question for you, Frank. If he fights Fundora, would you be okay with that? Ennis, that is, if he fights Fundora instead of Ortiz?
Yeah, that I would be fine with.
So would I. But Kelly, I mean,
he has a belt.
Yeah, he has. Look, and I guess again, I think Kelly will make it interesting for as long as it lasts. But eventually, he's falling apart.
No, he should get mollywopped in there. He doesn't stand a chance. If Zayas didn't stand a chance, what makes you think that Kelly has a chance? Not you, but the people, because that's what they're arguing for, right? They're arguing they want the Kelly match, and then I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it about why do you want to see the huge underdog? He's gonna be at least 6-1.
Yeah, at least. So again, that's why I ask. And you know they're gonna put it on pay-per-view. So why are people so eager to see? I don't get it, man. I really don't get it.
Well, my answer is I think it's just boxing talk. Like this guy, Gumbo Chef, he says they had their chance. Boots has no leverage. Go to the end of the line. So, I mean, this is what these guys, they like talking about. They like these kind of like, oh, he had his chance. Now he has to wait. And it's just boxing talk. Because I've listened to other channels, you know, besides yours, you know. I listen to various places, and these guys, they like talking like this. They like arguing these things.
It seems. Do you think too? There's also is it a question of Mirigian pissing fans off by being so forthcoming and so hard headed, and so now people are saying, "Man, screw him and screw Vergil Ortiz. Get at the end of the line."
No, I don't think it does, because people wanted this fight before. Like the Duran Ennis side or boxing hipster fans or, you know, Cuck Media, they wanted this fight.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to see Boots fight Vergil Ortiz, but now they've changed their tune. So I don't think it has anything to do with Rick Merigian. I think the Rick Merigian thing was for like people on some of these Twitter accounts or YouTube channels. It was just something for them to use to talk about.
Right.
If you that's what I'm thinking. It's just a talking point, but now the whole narrative has changed. Now these accounts, these channels, the social media, I mean, you're seeing it in what do they call it, in receipts, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
All these people have the same argument. If I was Boots, I wouldn't fight the dingy Mexican. They could have been fought, but want to make fake beef with Golden Boy. Fuck that. Never won a little spicy taco eating motherfucker.
But there was another the comment above that one where the guy goes, "Let's not run this gimmick, Robert. Ortiz has done nothing to get him in the position to fight Boots. He's rightfully chasing undisputed." See, again, this is the problem with boxing fans. Getting all the belts is more important than fighting the best guy in the division. So you're fighting all these guys that are inferior to Ortiz, but hey, he's got the belts. It's undisputed. Like what? Again, why are you like? It's again. This is why these people are okay with this, because for them, it's they're sticking it to Ortiz, which is the guy that they dislike,
Bingo.
and at the same time, they're not paying for these fights, so they end up winning at the end. But if they had to pay for these fights, you better believe they'd rather see Ortiz versus Ennis right now, instead of having to wait for what we already know is going to happen between Ennis and Josh Kelly. I'm telling you, Frank, I hate to say it, I want to sound like an elitist, but I'm going to sound like it anyway, so who cares at this point? It's got to be said. When people ask, why does this boxing stink in a lot of ways? Why is it going down the drain? Not for nothing, because of fans like this, man. They don't want to see the best fights, apparently. And it's not like a case of Benavidez asking for TV rights against Canelo, and that's why that fight never happened, or one of the big reasons. I mean, these guys, Ortiz, as far as I know, isn't really stuck on the 50-50 anymore. So why not make that fight happen?
Well, when you asked me, I said and Robert is saying Team Ennis doesn't want the fight.
You think so?
99.9% believe that to be true. What Robert is saying, they don't want the fight. It's too dangerous, and he doesn't have to, because that's what the fans are saying in now, that he doesn't have to. So now they have leverage.
Sorry, I gotta jump off because my connection's fucking up here, and I gotta disconnect something. I'll try listening on another device. I'll be right back, man.
Okay, cool. Man, we were just having a conversation. That's what I like to do, is have the conversation. Hit the like. But yeah, I mean, look, do you guys want the fight or not? A1 Free says, no, it was Oscar playing A-side games, trying to gain leverage, but now the tables have turned and it's boots in the driver's seats. People are happy Oscar and Virgil are the ones begging now. But it still doesn't go to the... It seems like what I'm saying, or what Mr. BDA is saying, or what we're saying, is not really driving home. And it's, what's the better fight? What is the fight that you want to see? More DBC, Boots, Duck, Morataliev, Jesus Ramos, and now Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed to fight Ortiz. It was Ortiz's side messed it up for whatever reason. Some people speculate that in-house beef was scripted to get out of the fight. I've heard that too. What you expect from a dude who goes to war in a pink tutu? Do Matador it, exactly. Hit the like. It's the only fight to make. It would be for the, I believe it'd be for the ring championship. Would it be for the ring? I believe it would be for the ring championship. We can look at the rankings and ratings, and you guys love the belts and things like that to make the fight. So Super Welter, it is 1 and 2. Ennis and Ortiz is 1 and 2. So for you stat heads, for you championship people, the best fight to make is Ennis and Ortiz. But you'd rather have him fight Josh Kelly, who is rated number 6, who got beat by David Avanesian. Boots got in the ring for Zayas, and it was a good fight. Virgil just on the sideline arguing with Oscar. Those are the facts. I get it. And again, we can argue this to the sun come up, but it really has to do with what's the better fight. What is the most dangerous fight? This is Team Ennis, right? Team Ennis. They have the leverage, okay? We can look at the champion, Jaron Ennis, WBO, Josh Kelly, IBF, Sebastian Fundora, WBC, Jaron Ennis, WBA. But we go to the ring, right? We go to the ring. Who do we have in the division? We have Zayas, Ortiz Jr., Fundora, Madrimov at number 4, Zayas at number 5, Kelly number 6, Murtazaliev at number 7, Brandon Adams at number 8, Barasu at number 9, and the guy Fundora is going to fight, Haberdaj, at 23-0, right? But we're talking about an actual division, the Super 154, right? Number 1 and number 2, Ennis and Ortiz. You guys are about belts. You are about lineal. You know, when we talk about Shakur and Tio, why was Tio so acclimated? Because he had the ring lineal championship, right? That is what Shakur Stevens is hanging his hat on. This is the fight to make, but apparently nobody wants to see it. We know Ortiz is dangerous. This is the only fight to make. Or Fundora, right? 1, 2, and 3. They could fight now. The winner fights Fundora. The loser fights Madrimov, Zayas. I mean, Zayas has moved to 160, so Kelly, right? We could have a couple years of fights, but apparently you guys don't want to see it. You want to see a massive underdog, Josh Kelly, because he will be a massive underdog in that fight. He'll probably be a heavier underdog. I believe Zayas was 4-1. He was a 4-1 underdog. You can assume Kelly will be a even heavier underdog. Nobody even gave Xander Zayas an opportunity, right? You guys said Drawn Ennis was going to kick Xander's ass. At first, I was giving Xander a chance. I was like, yeah, you know what, man? I think Xander has a chance. He's a big boy. He could give Duran some problems. And I was right. And, you know, I was going back and forth with the homies, you know, blazing, and they were giving me the shit, you know, saying I was picking Zayas. And I said, no, I just give him a chance. You know, I think he has an opportunity that he may be more dangerous. And they correctly said, nah, Ennis is going to kick his ass. And I said, yeah, I mean, more than likely he will. But I was giving Zayas a chance. And then as the fight got closer, I said, nah, you know, Duran Ennis by destruction. But, you know, Zayas rocked this shit. He had Ennis on Queer Street. Hopefully, Mr. BDA is back. Salute, Mr. BDA. Thank you.
Salute.
Helping the homeboy.
My pleasure. So what are you on now?
Well, I'm looking and actually at the Box Live, the ring status, because these guys love belts. Mm-hmm. And the 154 is vacant, and it's 1 versus 2. And it just begs the question, why not? Like, you really need Vergil Ortiz to have a trinket, a paper title to say, oh, he deserves the fight?
Exactly. That makes no sense.
0 cents, right?
I mean, again, this obsession with belts. I mean, so let's say Ennis never fights Ortiz. Well, but he beat Kelly and let's say Fundora. Well, he's undisputed. So that trumps beating the second best guy in the division. I don't get it.
Apparently, to these people, it does. That's what they want to be able to tell you, is that, well, he has the Kelly. He wants undisputed, because it's not really about Kelly, right? Because he couldn't sell the Kelly fight on his own. It's about the undisputed. But undisputed, what Robert was saying is, man, that's probably a year off. Because after Kelly, you don't know, like, you can't count on Fundora to sign up for Duran Ennis. If you're Duran Ennis, you can't count that you're going to get Fundora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's why Ortiz should move up to 160, like or Garcia was saying. But then what's going to be the next thing? Now Ortiz is going to be saying, well, you know, if he gets belts up there and Ennis eventually goes up, then Ortiz is the one who's going to be saying, well, now I'm the ace because I'm the champion. That was your rationale. And then it's going to start a whole new thing. Then the Ennis fans are going to say, yeah, but he's 2-time unified or whatever. At that point, he's going to be right. And so therefore, they're going to start the whole new thing. And that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I get that we have to talk about this, but man, it's so dumb that this fight isn't happening. It's boxing, you know, and you know, it's interesting, Frank. A lot of people said the same thing when the Zone started signing all these promoters and finally started getting PBC under its umbrella and all that. There was a hope that, hey, they're going to make the fights happen now, no barriers. And look at them now. I mean, I do wonder what the Zone is thinking right now. That, hey, we got Matchroom and Golden Boy under our umbrella, and they still can make this fucking fight happen. What are these retards up to?
It's the same thing. I mean, the suits, as they say, because that's what the Zone would be considered, right? The suits are always going to get pimped and played by the boxing guys. Because like that's happened multiple times, right? I think Steve Kim he wrote that article I mean, I have to go on a search, but he was saying that's what happened to HBO is they had Lou DiBella and another guy he mentioned. And that's how you got those great series of fights. He said, but when a guy named Kerry Davis took over, that's when they started to deteriorate the product, because basically it started being like a handout, like a what is that called when you just give your friend the dates?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, but there were handouts essentially.
Yeah, and it ruined the product. Because the boxing people know more than the suits. That's a common theme in business, right? Like entertainment, like with TV or movies, when they take a series like The Godfather, once the suits get a hold of some art or music, and then they try to milk it and turn it out, and then they just dilute the product.
Yeah, that's happened a bunch of times, man. I mean, just look at The Simpsons.
That got spread thin by corporatization.
Absolutely.
Now I don't know the story behind it. What's
The Simpsons in the right, because they make so much money off of merchandising. They just want to keep this going. So I think that's one of the main reasons. So it's been around for 30-something years, The Simpsons, and they're changing writers all the time. So it's not even the same product, because it's always constantly changing viewpoints, and then the brain's always changing. So it's not. I mean, that's why when people say, "I'm going to watch The Simpsons," for the people who grew up watching The Simpsons in the 90s, this is far removed from what it was. But for some reason, Fox still maintains on showing it. So that's what they do with this type of product sometimes. And with boxing, it's a little bit of the same thing, except instead of making the fights 2, 3, 4 times, instead of doing that, they just spend that time that they could be fighting each other 3, 4 times, and they just make it into one fight. Let's just milk that. Let's marinate it.
Yeah. No, that's the crazy thing, right? So, like, that's what's gonna happen with this fight. We've seen it before, but because you mentioned the that now that the promoters are all under the same building, we think we're getting the fights, but these boxing guys are tricky. You know, like they're getting like Sebastian Fedora, right? They signed PBC. Now we're gonna get Pitbull versus Nestor Bravo, and Fedora versus who's this guy? Hybrid Bridge. He's American, I guess.
He ain't
they say he's American. No, I know. Well, they don't even have the info, but it's like people got excited. Oh, they signed him, and then all of a sudden you get the filler fights. That's what it would be.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It's a shit. At least we're getting other types of fights, man. We're getting Oshaki Foster versus Navarrete. Dalton Smith is taking on Puello. That's not a bad fight.
When is it? Is that official? It was official, and then he got hurt.
Who are you talking about? The Dalton Smith?
Yeah, Dalton Smith and Puello.
Yeah, it's official now for, I think, the same day as Navarrete, October the 20-something.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
It's official.
And
no, this is Navarrete and
yeah, but I was saying
Oshaki
about the date.
Foster.
I was saying about the date. I think it's October the 24th, the Smith versus Puello.
Oh, okay, because it would be in the morning, well, afternoon, right? Because it'll be overseas.
And
then
that's a good fight, man.
Which one?
Puello versus Smith. And I tell you what, man. Yeah, Dalton Smith versus Puello.
It is. And I'm surprised that Dalton Smith is having it. That would be his mandatory, right?
I think so. And it's interesting because Puello, he's a clincher. I don't like watching him fight. However, this dude, Dalton Smith, when he got into it with Subriel Matias, he was clinching a lot. So now if Puello outboxes him and he does it via clinching, I'm not going to complain that much.
No, Dalton Smith is he's a good fighter for a UK bum, right?
Oh. What's the matter
well,
with
look, you know if a Mexican fighter would beat Dalton, he's a UK bum. But if an American fighter beats Dalton Smith, then he was a tough guy. Yeah. Because look at how much clout Abdullah Mason got for beating Sam Noakes. And that guy's a UK bum.
That's true, yeah.
Because Abdullah beat him. Oh, he's tough and gritty.
Yeah, they just don't keep the same energy, man.
And Navarrete, Oshaki, Foster. I don't like this fight. I mean, I'm wondering why Navarrete is fighting this fight. I thought he was gonna get the shot at Lomachenko.
Yeah, but this one does more for him because he's fighting the next. This guy, I think these guys are on the 1 and 2 in the division, so makes sense for them to fight.
Right, but what I'm saying is because I think what I seen reports are that Charlie Suarez could be fighting Lomachenko on the undercard.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I heard.
It'd be a kind of a quasi semi tournament. So this is featherweight, which super featherweight, right? 130.
Yes.
Navarrete, Foster, Casase, Suarez, Ford, Garner. The champions, Nava's the WBO, IBF. Foster is the WBC, and the other champion is Casase.
I think it's
Smash him off.
Kachichi, by the way.
It's what? Oh,
I think they
Kachechi?
pronounce it Kachichi, yeah. Some
What is
weird
he, Irish?
name, yeah.
Okay, I'm saying it wrong. Thank you for correcting me.
Oh no, he half Irish, half something else. I think that's why the weird name. I think
He does look like he's Mediterranean or something, right?
I'm
He
gonna
has a
look it up.
bulbous head.
Hey, why did they have the flag that you saw there was the flag from the Republic of Ireland? Apparently, this was from Northern Ireland.
Is that? Are you saying it's like North Korea and South Korea?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Northern Ireland is. I think it's a different flag. It's supposed to have a cross on it.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
Ireland
the
just
one
had
I
the
saw-
same Irish flag.
Which flag is the actual flag of Northern Ireland?
Are you using ChatGPT now, Mr. BDA?
No, it didn't. But it doesn't even say. I don't think if somebody in the chat could tell us, is there a difference between? There is supposed to be a difference, right? That the flag from the Republic of Ireland is a classic green, white, and orange, and Northern Ireland is supposed to be like a cross or something. Oh no, I think they changed it. A new flag for Northern Ireland from 2013. What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't see it anywhere else. Who's another Irish fighter that is top of the rankings?
They are.
Oh, McKenna.
Oh, they win.
McKenna, right? Huh?
Oh, you're talking about Terrence
McKenna.
What's his?
Yeah,
oh, there
there
he
he
is.
is. It's the same flag. It's the Irish flag.
Yeah, but what is he? I think he's Republic of Ireland. Somebody says, I thought Northern Ireland was just part of the UK. Yeah, that's what it is, but they do have their own flag, I think, too, on top of that. Anyway, who cares? Who cares? Man, we're turning this into the travel channel.
This is Jeopardy Hour with BDA. What is North Ireland flag? So
But
break it down, BDA. Can you break down Navarrete Foster for like 2 seconds while I Mr. BDA-ish with the latrine?
I was going to talk about something else, but yeah, I'll talk about that, sure.
Oh, no, talk about whatever you want.
I think it's better. Navarrete versus Foster, it's a very good fight. In terms on paper, rather, it's a good fight. I don't think it's going to be that entertaining. I think Foster's going to try to employ the Berenchik tactic of moving away from Navarrete and making Navarrete go to him, which again, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad strategy. I'm just saying it's going to be an uneventful fight. Because if Foster goes at Navarrete, I think things could end badly for him because Navarrete is an underrated puncher. Look at the damage he does to people. And maybe power is not the correct way to say it, right? Maybe I guess you could say he's just heavy-handed because the damage he does to his opponents, I mean, he fucks people up, for lack of a better term. And yeah, I think it would behoove Foster to fight going backwards a little bit because Navarrete, here's the thing I've said, and I've said this a couple of times. Navarrete, he's not a walk you down type of fighter. He wants to stay on the outside, feint, jump in with a couple of looping shots, and then before you know it, boom, he switches up the angle on you, feints, and then throws a punch you don't expect. And that's how he tries to. If he doesn't knock you out, that's just how he beats you up. He works the body, he works upstairs, downstairs, but he's not doing it consistently in the sense that he puts his head on your chest and works you and wears you down, like a classic pressure fighter. And I think that's why a guy who has the speed and the footwork of a Foster could potentially outpoint him. But again, Frank mentioned this earlier, it's probably going to be a very even fight, and it's going to come down to what do you like. And I think there's a possibility that Foster, with his quicker hands, he's got the flashier hands, he's probably going to sway the judges a little bit more. All he has to do is sway 2 judges. That's the name of boxing. You just got to sway 2 judges and you get the win. Fuck what the other one said. So, yeah, I think both guys have a good chance. I mean, Navarrete too. I mean, maybe 1 to 2 judges like or prefer his more thoughting shots that end up doing more damage. Maybe he scores a knockdown here or there and manages to squeak out a win. But I think it's going to be a very uneventful, tactical, and close fight. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. And how many? I think Frank said that Navarrete has 2 belts. Foster has 1. So yeah, that wouldn't be. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be. Well, that wouldn't be technically undisputed, right? Because you need a 4th belt. Which belt is this?
The WBA.
The WBA. There you go. So he's not technically the alphabet organization groupies. They wouldn't consider this a big deal, right? Because now, hey, you ain't undisputed. Yeah, you're the number 1 guy. You beat Oshaki Foster, for example, but hey, but you're not undisputed. That's what they're gonna say.
They would say that, but if Oshaki wins, they will not say it.
They'll say unified. He's a unified champ.
Well, 3 belt. That's what Earl Spence was. I think he had the 3 belts. I mean, if you have 3, you might as well go 4. But the whole thing, what I remember about belts is that you didn't. They consider a lot of times the UK bum had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started watching boxing, the Euro guys always had the belts, like a Ricky. Well, not the Ricky Hands and Calzaghe's, but there was give me a name, Mr. BJ.
Yeah, Calzaghe had the WBO.
No, but like a lower level guy that an American champion could go beat and get an easy belt.
There was
a guy like Leonard Doreen. Did he?
There was one guy at 154 in the late 90s and 2000s. He had Armand Kranjik. I forget. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but that dude had the WBO for a while. And another example, light heavyweight. There is Mikhawelski. I forget how you pronounce his last name. He had the WBO. Roy Jones ended up collecting the other ones. And I think some people, the only thing that prevented people from calling Roy Jones undisputed was because technically Mikhawelski was the lineal champ. Because he beat Roccigiani or whatever the Italian guy's name was, who had actually unified the title. So there was that debate about, well, yeah, Roy Jones has the 3 belts that matter, but he hasn't beaten the legit lineal champ. And then, of course, I don't know how that happened, but then the WBO became legitimate for some reason. I think somebody told me that's because the 3 other ones ended up recognizing it as legitimate. So it's almost like these other criminals said, yeah, you're a criminal too, you're legit. And that's how it works, apparently.
No, when I first started watching boxing, I always wondered, like, how can anybody just make a belt organization?
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
Anybody just like make a belt? Because if this guy can make a belt organization, then anybody can kind of just make a belt organization. There's like 10 other belts, right? There's like there's like an NABF, there's an IBO.
Well, the NABF, that's like a regional, national thing. I think continental or national thing. But yeah, it's not it's like the USBA or whatever.
Yeah, and there's like the IBO. There's a lot of belts out there. You'll see them every once in a while, and even like Emiliano Vargas, he has a bunch of belts.
What are those? Like,
you could tell they're like baby belts, though, right? They look kind of like knockoffs. Like, yeah, those look fake. I wouldn't even wear those. Kind of embarrassing, right? But the I don't know. Like I said, but the legitimate way of boxing was like the name. It was just the name. You beat the name, you beat the man, and I think it was Ring Magazine, because that's what I started following. When I started following boxing, I made my dad give me Ring Magazine. So I've kind of always been what would you call it? What do you call that?
Up to date?
Obedient? Loyal to Ring Magazine. Like, okay, I'm not going to really necessarily call the champion whoever has a belt, but just like what I'm showing, the ring rankings, right? The man is who the ring says is the man. Now, is that the case every time? No, but me as a fan, I'm buying the Ring Magazine. That's what I'm going to follow. What do you say, sir?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, now Ring Magazine, a lot of people criticize it because it's been bought out by the Turk, and they're playing around with the ratings and all that. Incidentally, that brings me to the point of Hamzah Sheeraz, who is complaining now that the WBO made Janibek their mandatory. And
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
saw
"Oh,
that.
they're throwing me under the bus, blah blah blah." So he's admitting, first of all, that this dude is dangerous. But of course, he's not saying that he's dangerous because of his talent. He's saying he's dangerous because he was caught with a PD. Which, by the way, I was listening to the 3 knockdown rule, and they were explaining what happened, which is that apparently Janibek, he has been cleared. He didn't take that shit intentionally. He went to the hospital and they gave it to him or something like that. So this whole thing of, oh, but he took a PED. Like, I mean, Hamzah Sheeraz, again, we can't prove it, but we know that most of these guys are on something. Why wouldn't he want to fight Janibek? Does he want to fight another no-name 34-year-old undefeated German that can't punch? And that's where he got the belt from, by the way. So that's what other people were pointing out. I forget who he was, but somebody was saying, okay, so this dude Hamzah Sheeraz had no problem getting a belt from some no-name German, but now that he has to fight Janibek, oh, the WBO, they're so evil. They gifted you the belt as if he was a Pakistani czar or a sultan, and you got all these people coming to pay tribute to him. They're giving him women and eunuchs and a bunch of camels and all that. Now all of a sudden he doesn't like it that he has to fight the guy. That he actually has a responsibility to fight the guy. I mean, come on.
I seen that. Yeah, he actually went on and put it on record that he doesn't appreciate it, and how does this guy get a shot having popped dirty? But then I also seen what you're saying, that people are saying he was exonerated, that there was something due to a health condition he had. So that's why he was ranked.
Why did you have to scroll back up to that
these
one?
guys? Oh, did you see this? This was dorky.
No, I haven't.
Is this what you were laughing at?
No, but I was just laughing. Anyway, whatever.
No, what? Tell me what you were laughing at.
I'm just laughing because you were scrolling down, and then you scroll back up to that specific video.
Oh,
well,
no, I didn't. I forgot what I was scrolling to.
Well, okay, now I'll have to see it, though, because you said it's
okay. Well, you like this guy, True Sports?
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, he's got good takes.
You do? Oh, my gosh, I'm sorry.
I mean, look, I'm not saying, hold on. I agree with everything he says, but for the most part, you can tell he's a dedicated, true boxing fan.
Well, this is one I'm going to have to disagree with Mr. BDA. He was kind of going with the Clarissa Shields hype a little too much. He basically said if you don't like the Clarissa Shields win, then you're not a boxing fan. Sorry, Mr. BDA, I had to tell you. But
well, I mean, it's the reason why it's not that I like it or dislike it. It's just I'm just completely disinterested in Clarissa Shields. I don't care about women's boxing.
No, but your boy True Sports was saying that to people.
Right. Well, I mean, that's his opinion. What do you want from me, man? You want me to defend him or?
No. Just that I don't know. Maybe because I thought he was okay until I seen that. I was like, I don't know. Now I'm.
Well, look, I'm the guy. I have a shortwave radio collection, so I'm not gonna judge anybody for what they like.
So, but they were going like really weird with it. I mean,
yeah. What's up with the Masonic signs, man? What is that about?
That's Sean Zitto. He's locked in. You can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let him say.
You get a Knicks shirt.
Numbers don't lie. What do you think, Sean?
That meant pending?
Pending. Okay. 21 times.
Well, if K. Scott at 5-0-1, the 42-year-old who's got muscles to burn, has anything to say about it,
huh?
I'm tapping out. I can't watch this.
Oh, okay. He was just hyping Clarissa Shields a little too much.
I did see that Brandon Taylor, because that's his real name. He changed. He doesn't want to be known as True School Sports anymore. He wants to be called BT or Brandon Taylor.
BT.
That's what scroll up. It's there. That's his. There we go. No, down. That following. There you go. When I was 17-year-old high school student, I came up with the name Truth. Yeah, that's the one where he's explaining why he wants to be called a BT now, or by his real name.
Oh, okay. But that's why my old blog and current YouTube channel have been called well over a decade. I'm 31 now and I've outgrown. Okay, so he's saying he's growing up, but I mean, I don't know. You keep your name, right? Isn't that kind of like branding 101?
You know what I think it is? I think because of the Zittel connection, and maybe he's gonna start getting more gigs outside of just social media or something. So I think maybe that's why he can go around. He can go around calling himself True School. Hey, what's your name? Oh, True School. He's gonna go by his. So now in other words, he's establishing his brand is gonna be Brandon Taylor now.
Yeah, but it's kind of like big timing. It's like if you say, "Hey, Frank, I don't want to be Mr. BDA no more. I'm gonna be Benicio." What's the Mexican name? Because you're BDA. Benicio Del Torre. Yeah, if you came at me like that, it'd be like, damn, you big timing us now.
It would actually my I wouldn't use a real name. I would be like Prince. I would just have one nickname, so we go a Yaki or something.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to go mainstream.
Apache.
It's a little selling out to me. I don't know.
Ah, come
I
on.
think he's selling out just a little bit, like you say.
Well,
just
what
a
do I
little
know?
bit.
I like the guy, but I'm not telling you that I know.
I'm trying to look for he went all out. But you said you wanted to talk about something before the Navarrete Foster?
Excuse me?
What was it? You wanted to mention something before we broke down Navarrete and Foster. Oh, here it is, Mr. BDA. August 16th. People say they don't care about women's boxing at all until you start telling them how great Clarissa Shields is. When you do that, everybody all of a sudden becomes Bert Serger. Oh, that's not it. Oh. Are you still there, Mr. BDA?
Yes, I think I cut out.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. Here's your boy. If you can't respect your whole perspective is whack. And you don't need to talk about boxing. So come on, man. He lost me. He lost me with that.
I don't understand the sentence. If you can't respect your whole perspective is whack. What is that? If you can't,
Right
because
here.
but the one underneath it says if you can't respect your. It sounds like he's saying you can't respect your whole perspective, like that you don't respect your perspective. You see how it's badly written is what I'm saying. That's why I was confused.
Well, yeah, it's Twitter, you know.
It should be if you can't respect Clarissa Shields, comma, your whole perspective is whack.
Yeah, but he doubles down, and you don't need to talk about boxing. So I don't know. I think the guy's sold out.
Actually, I don't think you would need a comma. Anyway, sorry, I'm delving into grammar. But anyway, the point is that yeah, man, I don't like when people try to pull ranks. Like, if you don't like women's boxing, listen, I watch these fucking featherweights, flyweights, and all that. Just because you added another gender doesn't mean I have to watch it to be. Because I mean, there's not a whatchamacallit, a checklist that, well, if you want to be considered a real boxing fan, you have to do this, and that. I watch a lot of boxing, and I'm fine with it. I don't need to add female boxing to it. What's next? Transgender boxing, hermaphrodite boxing,
Yeah,
children's
that's a
boxing. I
big
mean,
one.
come on. Yeah, if you don't watch amateur boxing, you're not a real boxing fan. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's doing this for a reason. I mean, this is virtue signaling.
I don't like you're turning me against him, man. I don't like this. You're a negative.
No, I'm not. I'm just bringing it to your attention.
I'm kidding.
You've been around these streets longer than me, and when you've spoken about him, I can tell. I'm not saying you, but you can tell when someone likes somebody. Rap star, is that the real rap star? Where's rap star been? You know rap star BDA?
I think so.
Salute rap star. He's an OG.
If I hear him talk, I'll probably recognize him.
And look, I don't want to bag him because he has a massive channel. I didn't realize how big his channel was. True School Sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
I know he's got a bunch of good interviews with Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, although you can't really understand what Riddick Bowe is saying because he sort of got the same issues as James Stoney, if you know what I mean. But yeah, he had some good videos. Yeah, but one thing I do know about Brandon Taylor is that for a while people were clowning him that he was a big Android fan, a big Demetrius Android fan.
Oh man, there's some. Oh, that's the fake rap star. Damn, these guys all know each other. Well, yeah, you kind of co-signed True School Sports, so I was like, okay.
You're putting me on the spot that I'm vouching for the guy and I'm saying everything he does is great.
No, it's just like I trust your take, right? Like,
you shouldn't trust my take. You should make up your own mind. No, you should make up your own mind.
It's like a recommendation, right? If your friend says, yeah, you got to try the enchiladas at El Ranchero, I'm like, okay, because I trust your opinion. That's not glazing. I'm not saying all hail BDA. I'm just saying if BDA says, hey, like this guy's a friend of mine.
What I'm saying is he's got good takes. I'm not saying all his takes are good because, again, I haven't seen all of his shit or that. I haven't done a deep dive on him, but I've just seen him across the years here on YouTube and social media. I've seen him, and yeah, he's got good takes. Now, obviously, there's some things I disagree with him, but I'm not telling you, hey, Frank, agree with everything he says.
No, I just meant like he's a guy I will take seriously.
So I think you should take him seriously in certain takes, but again, that's up to at a certain point. You have to make up your own mind. Like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I disagree with
this one. Kind of like I don't know. I'm kind of gonna.
I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on this. With the women's boxing, I got no interest in it. And if that makes me a bad boxing fan, if I should go to boxing fan jail for that, well, I guess, give me the charges.
This has kind of been a theme in some of our conversations. You brought up on your show is like once you start having a voice, because like this guy he has reach, he has a voice, right? So it's part of boxing media. Like he is boxing media because like you said, he interviews. But so when I see this, what I'm saying, I take this like personal because I'm like, wait a minute, man. It seems like you're like selling out to me. That's all It's just like now, whereas I seen you like legit, now like I see you turning and now you're changing your name. It's just like, see, this is what happens to boxing media because I'm looking at it from a bigger picture. This is a macro view of a micro subject like boxing.
Awesome, yeah.
This is what I seen after Clarissa Shields. A lot of these media people start being like, you have to respect, you have to hype Clarissa Shields. And it's like, wait a minute, whoa. This is like some big time virtual signaling to me.
I mean, I could understand the criticism if somebody were to criticize me. If I were to start saying, Clarissa Shields isn't the best women's boxer of all time, you could criticize me because I shouldn't be talking about that because I don't know anything about it. I don't know jack shit about her. So what I'm saying is I don't know anything about it. So, but because the reason why I bring that up is because some people have told me, hey man, don't if you don't watch female boxing, you're not this or you're not that. I'm thinking, really? Well, it's the same thing with the sanctioning bodies. So if they add another one, you have to abide by it. You have to legitimize it. You have to, if the four sanctioning bodies all of a sudden say, hey, well, let's recognize the IBO. Do you have to go with it? And it's the same thing here. Just because they added another gender to boxing and they're trying to make it grow, doesn't mean I have to watch it. I mean, everyone said, one of the criticisms I always hear about women's boxing is that the talent pool is very shallow. So why the fuck would I want to watch that? The boxing male pool is getting shallower as well. That's getting bad enough. Now I got to watch women's boxing whose talent pool is even shallower and more restricted. The fuck out of here.
Well, I tell you what, that's why I respect Mr. BDA because you really could like, and I've been kind of like making it a joke with you, to jump on the train because a lot of creators have jumped on this trend because they're getting 30,000 views on one video covering Clarissa Shields, and that's what maybe this guy's doing. Like, oh shit, these guys are making 8K a video and this and that, and you're like, no, I refuse. You won't do it. I respect people like that. That's why I guess when I see this, I lose a little respect. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that. Is because if my thing is at this stage in my life, I like to focus on things that I like. I don't this whole thing of I'm going to get into something because it's the trend or because everyone else is doing it. I'm not saying I've never done that, and the reason why I'm saying I wouldn't do it is because I can't remember what's the last thing I did that was because of a trend, but I'm pretty sure it didn't end well. So you learn from things like that. That eventually it's a fruit. I think it must have been high school or something. They're fruitless endeavors. And that's how you learn not to go with that. But again, the motivation for here is maybe some sort of move up the social media hierarchy. Maybe it's money, like you said. A lot of these guys are getting a lot of views, so I understand why they're doing that. But it's just me, with the amount of money that you would be making off of YouTube, it's not really that worth it that much. I mean, you gotta be authentic at a certain point, right? If you're gonna be miserable doing something, but it's gonna get you a couple of bucks. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not worth my time and my sanity to do that. You know what they always say in boxing, and that I've seen that numerous times, Frank. Across the years here on YouTube, people start boxing channels or they start sports channels, and then they cover a little boxing, and then they see, they hit on a niche, they hit an artery that they can work with in boxing, and then they just start doing boxing, but they don't like it. That's why sometimes they don't last. Or if you look at their content, it's all gossip because they can't actually talk boxing. So the big lesson that a lot of these social media content creators give you is that the good ones is, hey, you got to find something that you like, and then eventually the money will come from that. But if you go on something just because you want to make money off of it, but you don't like it, you're going to be miserable. Look at that fucking Perez Hilton guy, whose whole shtick was making fun of celebrities. He did that for a good 2 decades. And next thing you know, he's on TikTok live, naked, laughing and cutting himself up, slicing himself open, like slicing his ass cheeks. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm not saying that happens to everybody. What I'm saying is people tend to be miserable when they're doing something they dislike, no matter how much money they get. Psychologically, that's always the case.
No, excellent point. And you're talking about the media aspect. you said a lot of these guys, they come in from other areas of segments, because you say that they seen there's a niche in boxing, they can talk about it.
Mhm.
But like you said, it doesn't last. This was a theme on, we had this conversation before, but it doesn't last. Those niches, well, boxing is a niche, but like we'll always have something to talk about, right? Like
Mhm.
if you're sticking to your core, you're not gonna branch off to women's boxing, Clarissa, because you can get double your views. You could probably double your subscribers doing it, but you're remaining, what is that called? Damn. When you don't sell out, what is the opposite of not selling out? Dude, Mr. BDA still there? Hello. Yeah, they deleted your nemesis. Yeah, they did. They got him. No, these guys, I found it's a money code, a money cheat to talk about Clarissa Shields and women's boxing. But how can you really enjoy it? I think that was the message of Mr. BDA, because as you know, he has a really good following, and is an OG on these YouTube streets. Salute Rapstar. Rapstar is an OG on here. But yeah, you can't fake it. You can only fake it for so long, right? But I did get good numbers actually talking about Clarissa Shields, to be honest. But how long could I keep that up? I mean, these guys can go hours and hours and days and talk about all her I don't know, she has there's so many stories running with Clarissa Shields. But as far as the boxing, right? So this is another one, Shields. You get a lot of numbers engagement really talking about Clarissa Shields. But is it boxing? It's not boxing related. Hop in anytime, Mr. BD. Oh, we lost Mr. BDA, the Canadian Wi-Fi. But yeah, I was always teasing him. Hey man, jump on the Clarissa Shields, money train. Yeah, it's a money train, man. You can literally double your views and subscribers, even on Instagram, Twitter overnight, man. But I just, I didn't buy the fight, right? On Clarissa Shields. I actually made a short talking about how it was kind of like a scam, right? Pretend you're a Shields super fan and talk about how good her ass looks. Yeah, man. Well, no, these people are talking shit about her, but they're getting a lot of engagement and a lot of views. That's one of the shows she actually called into. Hit the like, hit the link. The link is in the chat. Hit the like for me, please, pretty please. But you can't be miserable doing it. You gotta enjoy talking boxing. If you actually listen to a lot of boxing, people get mad over this shit. People beef over this shit. People get angry over this shit. I used to beef with the people in BDA's chat. I used to go at it with people. Remember Mirage? Everybody probably beef with Mirage. I think Mirage secretly listens, and he's always hitting dislike on my videos, because there's people that every video will hit dislike, and I think Mirage is one of them. Mirage will go everywhere too. That guy is everywhere, and but he for some reason he won't talk to me. But Mr. BDA, I think the Clarissa Shields fans got him.
I got a message from YouTube saying, since you insulted the GOAT, we will now be restricting chat. What the fuck?
Oh no, what?
I'm kidding. No, see, I made it sound real. Eh? My acting skills are through the roof, and that's just extra talent. I don't even practice acting. It's just boom, natural.
Hey, some people got it, some people don't.
All right, you don't gotta be condescending.
No, that's a good thing. You're not a good liar.
But yeah, true.
No, go ahead. What?
No, I said that's true. You're right.
Frank, remember you were on rap, and Rod used to go at it. Yeah, Mr. BD asked me. I used to argue with a lot of people. I don't argue anymore. I just, that's not one thing, because listening to you, I never really heard you argue with anybody. Did you go and beef with people on the streets?
Oh no, I don't go out and looking for no. I mean,
No, but did you ever yell? I don't think I've ever heard you yell, because even people that call, or even Booty Lose, you never yelled at them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because usually, for some reason, what the fuck? Usually, I don't know why I have this effect on people, but they tend to want to talk over me. I think I drive some people nuts. One time I did have, there was this Afro-Anglo guy, this fat Afro-Anglo guy. What was his name? Logical Man. And he came in.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Yeah, he came in acting like he wanted to be friends and everything. And then he was just trying to get clout off of this channel. And he was just an undercover LDBC guy, pretending not to be LDBC. That's the common tactic a lot of these guys do, is that they pretend to be anti-LDBC. It's like, hey, I'm an Afro-Anglo that's anti-LDBC. And then the whole race thing comes out, and they look at everything through a race color lens. And it was the same thing. And I did get into it with him one time on Black and Brown. It was in 2023, and he was talking over me. So I said, okay. That was when I was still off being on Rapids, where that's what they used to do. People would just go back and forth nonstop for hours.
Yeah,
so exactly, and handling the cell stuff. So I was in that condition. I had that conditioning going where I could just do that. So I just said, you know what, let me just talk over him as well. And we were just talking over each other for nonstop. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, but at that time I felt it was necessary, because you can't let that happen too often. And so I was just talking over him. And interestingly enough, he said he was going to make a video about how we're the Mexican LDBC, and that was in 2023. I haven't heard from him since. So,
well, I actually went on his channel one time because he accused me of being one of the racists on BDA's channel. I went on his channel and I looked at it. Yeah, it was all like he was I don't know if, I think it was before ICE, but he was all about women bashing and anti-immigration. He was completely anti-immigration. Like, yeah, these Latinos are coming in and killing our country. So he was really on some before MAGA shit.
Did you ever see? I'm gonna have to link it to you if you haven't. But we did a live on the Second Renaissance on Rumble. I think it was right when we started it, and it was a debate. No, it must have been YouTube. Anyway, I'm trying to find it here, but it was between. I don't know if you remember the Jefe. He was this Texan.
I've heard of him.
He was Mexican, but he pretended to be Texan, and he got it. He wanted to. There were talks of him doing a debate between him and what's his name, Logical Man, about that. Like, this is the debate point. Who's worse for the United States, Mexicans or Afro-Anglos? And it was I mean, just off the title, you can expect that it's gonna be a shit debate, and it was indeed. It wasn't even a real debate. It was just two guys insulting each other racially, and it should be here somewhere, man. Where is it?
Oh, they actually debated.
Yeah,
on your show or somewhere else?
On that, oh, you know what? I think I haven't reposted it on the new channel. I think it was on YouTube when we had the Second Renaissance on YouTube, and then we nuked that channel. It should be somewhere. Anyway, if I ever find it, I'll put it on the Discord, or I'll send you the link.
Okay, I was gonna say that. Can I make a recommendation to Mr. BDA?
Sure.
And you can, you don't post clips of the shows. A lot of people do that now, or revisit old clips. Do past segments and post it on your main channel.
That's a great point, man. That's a great point. I've thought about that. We've thought about the Butcher and I for years now, but we never actually. I think it's just we have to just.
It's a lot of work, though. Well, but there's programs now. Like even Streamlabs has clipping. You can just put your show in, and they'll clip everything.
Which one you said?
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I have had I've been rewatching certain shows every once in a while, and I'll clip them, or I'll take the timestamps to eventually do a compilation, because there's so many crazy events, and that's the problem. I should have done that from the beginning, because now there's a lot of moments that get lost there. I mean, we've done about 1,000 shows, live shows, I think.
Hours.
Let me just, or at least, minimum hours. So there's a lot of stuff that I remember. Hey, I remember this happened. I mean, again, forget about the things that I've forgotten about that were gold. Just the gold that I remember. Sometimes I can't locate it. So how can you, is there a way to see how many live shows you've done? The number? Oh, here it is. We've done about 1,200 shows.
Damn.
Almost 1,300.
Going back to years, right?
And we've slowed it down. We only do about 2 per week now, but there was a time where we were doing 3, 4 a week. Imagine if we kept that pace up, man.
Yeah, but boxing, you'd have to force it.
Exactly. Yeah. I've seen people that some people try to go live every day, but then you're rehashing the same thing, or you're getting to real rumor-based type of discussion where well, this guy said this, and this guy, are they gonna fight? And who's fighting whom? And
Yeah.
some people were milking that whole Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis thing every day. Just Keyshawn Davis said this today, and then this guy said that. And I think, man.
Well, if
Dude.
you're hosting it, right? Because you're hosting it, so you have to keep it going. I mean, unless you let guys just yell at each other, because that's what's gonna happen.
That's interesting, man. Because what's your strategy for this channel, for example?
Well, that's what I gave you not a recommendation, but just something I was thinking would be fun if you did for the people.
No, that definitely makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. See, that's a good strategy. But with your channel, are you trying to to get as many people to jump on the panel as possible, or what's the?
At first it was. Well, that's why you can offer me a suggestion or recommendation.
Mhm.
No, I'm saying you can
Like right now?
anything. Just out the top of your head, yeah. Like, Frank, you suck at this, or you should do this.
Oh, that's not a recommendation. That's a criticism. But I mean, it's in terms of what you should do. I think you're on the right track. Maybe it's just because one thing I like about your show is you come prepared. You have things to talk about.
Not all the time. Today I didn't. I was running late.
Well, no, but I mean, you still you had a structured thing of you at least had an idea in your head of what you wanted to talk about, right? You didn't just
yeah.
Right, because there are people that just turn it on. It's like, I'm gonna do this a cappella, like they're about to freestyle or something. I remember once, and I forget who he was. I asked Butcher, and he doesn't remember either. But he'd shown me a clip a long time ago of this LDBC guy. He's in his living room. He's in his kitchen with one of those condenser mics that we all had in the beginning, those cheap mics. And he's sitting there right in his kitchen, untreated. The sound it's just that you hear the whole echo. And he goes, "Because when I turn these shows on, I don't do no prep. I don't do no prep. I just freestyle it." It's like he's bragging about not doing any work. Essentially, I think that was the first time in a long time I'd seen somebody bragging about not putting in the work. But the reason why these type of guys get a lot of views is because their content is essentially masturbatory. They're telling their audience, we're the best, we're this, we're that, but we're also the victims. So aren't we always also? And then that super chats just keep on coming. So that's one of the ways they would work it. That you don't really need to do any preparation before that. But everyone else that's not into race baiting and all that, yeah, you need to have a structured set of subjects to talk about. And sometimes it's hard work because you gotta. Thanks to the internet, though, it's always possible now. Thanks to the internet, it's always possible now. I mean, you go on Twitter, you can find 3, 4, 5 things to talk about.
Yeah, no, but sometimes, like today, I was running late. It was hard because I'm like, I'm not really, be honest, I'm not feeling the Rolly fight to really entail. Because even on your show, we were talking about it, but I mean, we didn't break it down. I don't think you're gonna break it down because it's like, I mean, geez, it's forced.
Well, we kind of did.
Well, no, not like
we actually. I think
when you do the act, you've done like the Ennis and Zayas fight. You do the power, and you really break it down.
Yeah, no, we talked. It was you. I don't know if that's a real Sobers, but if it is, it was you, Sobers, me, and Butcher, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually talked for about a good 40 minutes, and we didn't even really go into all that in depth about the fight. Yeah,
I felt
we
like
talked a good a minimum half an hour.
I felt like we were, because like Bucho said, is it going to be a good fight? And that was kind of my question today is like, is it going to be a dud? I think it was Bucho who was saying, man, it might be a dud. Or did you say
first of all, you and Butcher brought up a good point. I think I'm starting to realize that now too, that other people are realizing that, which is that one of the reasons why this fight isn't getting that much hype is because I think most people think Lopez is going to win. They've realized that Romero isn't all that good. And then on top of that, Lopez, he might not be all that good either. He just happens to be superior to Romero. But because the point that you guys made, which I said was excellent, was the fact that I think a lot of people feel like Lopez really shit the bed against Shakur Stevenson. Not in the sense that he should have won, but that he could have definitely done a lot better, man. With the amount of time he had to prepare for this fight, knowing what type of style he was going to fight, that was the best he could do. Pitufo Diaz does better than him against Shakur Stevenson. Hartunonian does better. Cepeda does better. And this guy, who's got more qualities than those dudes in terms of natural talent, he can't even come close to doing what they did. I thought that was it. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's another reason why that fight isn't all that interesting to people, is because they feel like, well, who the fuck is Lopez? I mean, this is that dude that shit the bed. He shit the bed numerous times against movers. He shows he can't adapt. He can't come forward. Well, why would we want to watch him fight? Why does he deserve our money?
Yeah, and I felt like it. I don't know if it, as I was running today, is I was mulling over the subject because I'm like, damn, I mean, what am I really going to talk about? I mean, because like I feel like we make fun of a lot of things, right? I think you were saying it on your show last night, like, and people make comments about your show, like, oh, they're just jokers, not funny. I mean, they're being too funny. I'm like, yeah, because like, look at the characters you're talking about, Teofimo and Rolly. Like, it's warranted in this case. It's like it kind of overshadows the actual boxing, the fight itself, because they are literal characters.
Well, to that point about being comical is because, like you said, that's an excellent point. We have to be somewhat comical because it's such a ridiculous set of characters that we have in boxing with those two guys specifically. But we were serious too. We were talking about, hey, should Teofimo Lopez change? First of all, we delved into the fight. We talked about the stylistic differences and the talent difference or skill differential between those two guys, and we talked about whether Teofimo Lopez should strongly consider leaving his father as a and get another trainer. In the 3 knockdown rule, Steve Kim and Lopez were Mario Lopez, that is, were debating that, and Mario Lopez like, yeah, but I mean, that's his father. He can't just leave his father. I'm thinking, why not? Plenty of other guys have. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not just saying, hey, pops, fuck off. I'm getting a different trainer, but it is possible, and I think at this point we can all agree that Lopez Sr. has been doing more harm to Lopez Jr. than good at this point. I mean, again, I'm not saying Lopez Jr. would have beaten Shakur Stevenson with a different trainer. But I'll give you an example. You never know. Shane Mosley, when he fought Winky Wright, 2003 for the 154-pound championship, Winky Wright had his way with Shane Mosley. I think Shane Mosley maybe won 2 rounds. It was a wipeout. Then there was a rematch clause. I think there was a rematch clause. But anyway, they ended up having a rematch, right? And people are saying, well, what's the point? Shane Mosley can't do. I mean, what's he going to do? Well, I tell you what he did. He got Joe Goose in his corner. All of a sudden, he's hurting Winky Wright. He's giving him a tough fight, and Winky Wright had to rally late in the championship runs to get the win. So, yeah, you can do better. You can improve. And just with a different trainer, sometimes it can make a difference. Sometimes. I'm not saying exaggerate like Anthony Joshua. Every time he hurts his pinky in the ring, all of a sudden he has to change trainers. Like, oh, I mean, it wasn't me. It was my trainer's fault. But sometimes a trainer can make a difference, especially if you've been one for too long. Sometimes a change isn't the worst thing in the world when the original trainer has shown that he has limitations. My problem is with a guy like Joshua, he's with a trainer 2 fights, and then all of a sudden he switches it up. It's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, you... And on top of that, he left his long-term trainer.
Right? The opposite of helping. Hopefully this is the real Never Sober. Should I be worried?
I think you should. Yeah, I think you should be worried even if it's a real source. Especially if it's a real source.
What up?
Yo.
What's up, Sobers?
Welcome.
What's up?
That's
We're just talking about.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
The trainer aspect. I wasn't even considering that, but I thought about it today. Again, as I was running, this is what I think it is with the trainer thing. I think it's money. I think Theo and his dad just want to be cheap, and I think they're a little bit paranoid. I really entertain me. I think they're kind of, because I've met boxing people, right? Like people that boxed and were in the professional ranks, and a lot of these people are paranoid. They just think everybody's out to get them, and I wonder if maybe Tio is, because he talks like he has paranoia, right? A lot of time when he talks, and I think, what if he's paranoid, like that people are going to be in his camp, and maybe he'll have that mole problem, because it's been a problem, right? Like that happened to Ryan. That maybe he's just a little paranoid and he's cheap. They don't want to pay anybody.
I've heard the thing about the cheap thing. I've heard other people say that. The paranoid thing, I hadn't considered that, but it makes sense. Especially Teofimo Lopez Sr., he's probably on the sauce. He's feeling particularly schizo that day. He's like, Teo, mijo, they're following me. Like, who, Pop, who? His son looks at the type of guy who, at this stage in his life, he sort of still entertains.
The guy who sold me all this cocaine, he's following me.
Yeah, but I think his father is sort of, Lopez Jr. is sort of the guy who entertains his father's theories. But he's sort of, I think he's starting to get fed up, but he still can't say no to his father.
It's a little codependence, right? That's what they call it. They're still codependent. It's like just a bad couple. Even they should divorce, but they're just so dysfunctional. What do you? I always lose. Gosh, my vocabulary. I need to start reading again. help me entertain what I'm saying. They're so dysfunctional, but they're dysfunctional good together.
To a certain degree, right? To a certain degree. I mean, it's limited because it's like a Navarrete. He's got this crazy weird style, but eventually, when he fights a guy that won't go to him and won't play into his game, what can he do? Same thing with Naseem Hamed, and so it's almost like the same thing here. The crazy works, but because there are no set ground rules, they can't adapt.
Well, at least he's got an opponent in front of him, Rolly Romero.
Hey, that's the other thing that Rolly hasn't fought since 2025, man. Since May 2025.
Yeah, and his complete 360 change. This complete new personality.
I don't like him, man. I don't like it. He's
No,
talking
he's
about.
on God. He's walking the path of the Crimson Cross, BDA, and you're hating on him.
I mean, he's walking on. If he ever walks to if he ever finds the true cross, he's gonna try to stick it up his keister, man. I'm telling you, this dude is crazy. And I don't think he's on the true path, man. Do you guys get the feeling that he's sort of bullshitting with the whole religion thing?
Well, most people are, right? So
Wait a minute, what are you trying to say about me? No, but first of all, people have said that the true path, by the way, has nothing really to do with religion per se, by the way. I just want to go on the record for that. But I don't know, it just struck me as this whole Romero's actually hasn't been sudden, by the way. Now that I think about it, I'm going to give him the benefit of that because remember after he got beat up by Isa Cruz, he was saying he was all depressed when they were interviewing him in the ring. He goes, and don't forget, he has risen.
Happy Easter. He was like, Happy Easter.
So who said that? Did you say you think it's a put on? He's just putting on an act with this.
No, I asked the question, but now I think my point of view is that no, I think it's genuine.
Well, he's talking about he was here. He was becoming paranoid, or he was having mental breakdowns, like literally afraid to leave the gym or something. He was saying.
Excuse me.
Why would he have a mental breakdown like that, though? Who got him scared like that?
Jay Prince, maybe? I don't know.
What,
Turkey?
maybe he was
Thinking about the little initiation at the Versace temple.
Yeah, maybe.
Turn off all the lights, take off all your clothes, Rolling. What?
He's just unhinged. Let's watch this real quick because they're saying this is unhinged. Do you guys mind? Let's play this because this looks weird. This should be good.
But about your journey. Now you've been vocal about mental health, about
that's what I'm
overcoming that, about speaking with God, and you said that after the Ryan Garcia fight, we would have thought that you would have been on top of the world. That wasn't the case. So why was that not the case when you became a world champion at welterweight?
So one of the pills I was taking, it kind of messed up my hormones really bad and it caused me crazy depression. And that was the cyanide I was taking that destroyed my life. And it's crazy now, I beat Ryan Garcia while taking estrogen. So
What?
Wait. Did he say cyanide earlier, by the way?
Can you guys?
He said I was taking cyanide. It was poisoning me, and he said I beat Ryan Garcia while taking estrogen.
What was he in a concentration camp? Like I was taking, they stuck me in the shower with cyanide gas. What's he talking about?
Did you guys
Well,
actually hear it?
cyanide, I don't know. Maybe he's acting like someone's poisoned him, right? But then the estrogen is because, don't you have to take? Oh no, you get overloaded with estrogen. That sounds like you're cycling on and off or something. That's kind of like just let that slip, dumbass.
I like how everyone says, "Hey, Ryan Garcia is on steroids." You don't think? Look at Romero. Compare him how he looked as a lightweight, and then throughout the years, that guy's fucking jacked. That's what's making him ultra aggressive in front of fat chicks in a car, trying to shove his limp dick into their throats.
The steroids don't make the dick smaller, just the balls, BDA.
Okay, well, you know what I'm saying.
What did he just say? Did you see how he was looking?
Yeah.
He was looking around like he was nervous, yeah.
About mental health, about overcoming that, about speaking with God.
What the hell is that?
After the Ryan Garcia fight, we would have thought that you would have been on top of the world. That wasn't the case. So why was that not the case when you became a world champion at welterweight?
So one of the pills I was taking, it kind of messed up my hormones really bad and it caused me crazy depression. And that was the cyanide I was taking that destroyed my life. And
why would you take cyanide?
I beat Ryan.
I think maybe he meant.
Wouldn't you fucking die if you just took some cyanide pills? Is that like a suicide pill?
No, I think he meant that's what he's calling it, the cyanide.
Yeah, I think that he's being metaphorical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you just say poison?
Exactly, because he you know what it is, Sobers, because the whole Teofimo Lopez faux intellectual thing is rubbing off on him. So instead of just going with poison, he made the classic mistake. Well, what?
Yeah, it was the white phosphorus gas all over my life. It just burned everything down. Like what, nigga?
It was the Agent Orange. Like what?
Yeah. It was the Agent Orange to my life.
To my life.
It was the sarin gas to the Iraqi people, to my Iraqi men, to my Iraqi mind.
Oh, A1 Free said weed. That might be it. What do you think about what he said? Because weed will make you schizophrenic, paranoid. People.
Weed is known to boost estrogen, okay, but he said he was taking estrogen, not smoking estrogen. The fuck?
No, the cyanide. I think because when people have conversions, they start thinking it's like the devil's
devil's herb.
What? Yeah, they start thinking in those terms, like it's all like it's the poison. You understand what I'm saying?
I know a guy who that happened to. It happened to. He was like this thug guy and everything in high school, and then he was always smoking weed, and then he had a bad trip. All of a sudden he converted. I was thinking, okay, man, I don't think the weed was
and then and later on in life, he worked he was in Vietnam, and then he worked in the industry for a little bit. Then he started up a boxing podcast with his buddy, and I don't know what happened to him. Right?
Wait a minute. What are you trying to get at here?
Who's that? There.
What are you trying to
I had no idea. Just a friend of VDA. Some guy used to know.
I was defending weed. What are you talking about? I said that the problem wasn't the weed. I think the problem was him.
No, I know. I'm just making a joke like that was you, and not. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't a thug in high school. I said a thug in high school. I wasn't a thug. I was a.
That's why it's a joke, bro.
BDA was a greaser.
No.
No.
He was like he wasn't a thug. He was like one of those high school thugs.
No. Fuck, that shit was funny.
But Frank, this Romero thing, you got to admit, it is weird, man. Is he playing a character? Is he being serious?
It's beyond weird. That's what I mean. I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier about this fight. It's like, what can you really put into it? Is that being hyperbolic? Sober, you okay over there?
Doing just fine, baby.
Hey, Frank.
Yo.
Can you guys hear me?
Who is this? Yeah, you're washing your butt?
Yes. No, my bad, y'all, my bad. I had to turn that off, the shower.
Well, how about you put on your clothes first, then you come back?
Who is it? What crew are you from? Who is this? You know him, Sobers?
He says his name is Little Jazz. If it's Little Jazz, you know what it is. He's in my Discord.
Okay.
And he's in BDA's.
Is he good?
What's up,
is he
What's
a
up,
friend of ours?
Little Jazz, you sound familiar. Have we spoken before?
Yep, a little bit, yep.
I think
was
so.
asking him, I brought up how Southpaw called one time. His call that one day, and he was like freaking out. He was saying the show, the B's here, A's here. He picked up someone. He was in his truck. I forget. I was just bringing it up to y'all one day.
Yeah. That was like a couple weeks ago. That was a couple weeks ago. That's what I'm saying. He's true. I know this dude. He's been in my Discord for a minute.
What's up?
Wow.
VDA, do you remember that call, by the way? Do you remember Southpaw? I think you left early on that one.
Yeah, I left before that whole malarkey, but then I heard it the next day, and that's got to be the biggest meltdown in the YTV scene.
No, VDA. After the show was over, he was still in the VC doing it until I don't fucking know, 3 a.m, bro. 3 or 4 a.m. Whoever that female he was with, that bitch went home. Like, imagine you're like, hold on, babe, I'm just gonna finish this up real quicker. She's already dealing with you, yelling with these dudes for like the last 2 or 3 hours, right? Leaving wherever you was at, driving home with it. He's like, no, go inside, babe. I'll be in there in 5 minutes. Let me just finish this up. He's outside for another 3 hours yelling at these dudes.
That must have been some good.
Why was I good enough for the show?
Must have been some good Texas meth that he was on that, man.
Oh, that's Southpaw.
No,
I
wait.
thought you meant the other Southpaw. There's another Southpaw.
We're talking about lefty.
Yeah.
Come on,
No,
Southpaw.
I thought he was talking about the other guy.
No, it's the one who worked for the Boxing Voice.
Yep. For like 10 years, whatever.
I mean, you call it work. Other people could call it indenture. What do they call it? The servitude. Slavery,
Indentured
essentially. That's
servitude.
what-
Yeah.
Yeah, indented servitude. Thank you. Yeah.
He
Some
worked
people
it.
call that slavery.
I mean, I think that when he retired, they gave him a golden chain as a retirement present. Like, oh, here you go. You live in the locker.
They gave him a key. They gave him a little key. Like, here you can
There you
unlock
go.
your bracelets.
Yeah.
Respectful.
You're a good little slave.
It's
But
for
I
your
did have a-
shackles.
I did have a question, like for VDA. Like, I mean, for the recent panel, like, have you guys you've been liking how everything's been set up and like the different opinions and stuff. I remember Jimmy, and it was wild with Gonzalo being a mainstay. Like, I've been tuning in since then, since like I remember the summer show talking about Jerron Ennis like a year and a half ago, 2 years, and there's a
Okay. What happened? Jimmy, what is his name? Risen?
Fu
Little
has his
Jazz.
way.
Little Jazz. Okay.
Yeah. I like how Fu sticks to his guns and then Gypsy sticks to his thing, and like no one like compromises. Like, y'all will go at it if you stick to your, even though some of
Well,
y'all might disagree.
Frank earlier was going at me because I said I recommended that I said True School knows his shit about boxing, and then Frank's like, I don't know, man. Then he started breaking it down, and then he started making me turn on True School. So yeah, man. I mean, we disagree about stuff. I'm glad you're enjoying the new panel because new
Yeah.
panel. It's a panel. I don't want to characterize it as new because these guys have been around now for a while, but it's just
Yeah.
that they became mainstays because yeah, man. I mean, look, throughout the years, people jump in and out, man. Jimmy's been out for a while though, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried because the last time I talked to him, he said, "If anything ever happens to me, somebody will let you know." And he's not. Lately, he hasn't even been active at all, so I'm starting to worry a little bit. But hopefully, he's all right. But yeah, throughout the years, people end up look at what happened with Gonzalo. He ended up, having his issues. Even recognize he's here now, but there was a while there, two separate times where he jumped out because he had other stuff to do. So eventually, yeah, you need a good team. And
It's just life, right? It is real life.
it's just real life, essentially. I don't expect Sobers and Frank and Fu and some of these other guys to stay here forever. But I mean, it did take a little bit of time to reorganize into a good, cohesive, coherent panel as well. Because again, not everybody can do this. It looks easy, and I'm not saying it's the most difficult thing in the world, but sometimes, yeah, you need people that know how to. I mean, look at Frank. That's what Frank he was doing. He was here by himself, lonesome. I mean, he was carrying the show. I mean, he can do it by himself. Sobers too. He can do it by himself.
Dang.
But it's a
Not
team thing. Once you get
necessarily.
people working together, that's what makes it. Two heads are better than one. What about five, including a pothead in Never Sobers? 5 heads, 1 pothead.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, but BDA runs a tight ship.
Who's the crackhead though? Is it me?
Yeah,
or-
you run a tight ship. You run a tight schedule. Everything's tight. Everything.
It's
Very tight.
It's gotta be tight.
But what were you guys saying? So everyone's on board that Rolly's gonna blast him out in about I give it 6 rounds. Rolly's gonna use his special strength, his special gift strength.
He's special. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Special.
It's
What did
very
Sobers
special.
call him? Sobers called him. Sobers found out the new the PR politically correct one, remedial.
Yeah, remedial rolling.
Because who's really giving Rolly problems? I mean, Pitbull was just terrible, but and then old Nambaroso went crazy on him. But Tio doesn't fight like that. Tio does not press on the gas like that. He'll do a burst and then just stare at you, and gesture.
That's a great point. That's
You know,
yeah.
He doesn't overwhelm.
Exactly. That's why I think it's going to be an uneventful fight on top of that, because neither guy really is a go-getter. And Lopez is a guy I think he's superior to Rolly in terms of timing, speed, because of his experience, particularly his amateur experience too, where he excelled in the amateurs, whereas Romero was just, he was decent, he was good, but he wasn't the Lopez level. I think Lopez even got to the Olympic trials. I don't think Romero even came close to that. I don't think so. There's a difference in skill differential, but like you said, Lopez is not a go-getter. So I think he's just going to be content in pot shot here, pot shot there, and he's not going to go for the KO. I don't think.
No. What do you think, Frank?
I think it's a really hard fight to predict. I personally, my personal feelings, I want Rolly Romero to knock out Teofimo so that they don't constantly glaze Shakur Stevenson. But I think Teofimo's the better fighter. He's the better fighter, period. He should be able to outbox Rolly Romero. And one thing I mentioned earlier is if Teo wins, he'll be a 3-weight division champion, and there'll be some Hall of Fame talk. Is that crazy?
I don't know, because we should already have some Hall of Fame talk for Rolly then, bro.
Hey, Rolly. If Rolly beats Teo, Hall of Fame talk. I mean, hey,
he's already a 3-division champ, right? So he's already ahead of Teofimo.
It's a
that logic is true.
It's a conversation.
And I want Orlando Salido in the fucking Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, that's true. Huh? Robert Guerrero too.
No, Robert, no.
3-division world champ, man.
3 divisions. Yeah,
I think he was a 3-division world champ.
Yeah, but he didn't beat up fucking Vasil Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're talking about Salido.
Orlando Salido did it. Orlando Salido did it before it was cool.
That's a good point. He was the original. And he's like the Mexican Andrew Tate, right? He's bald, controversial. He's in prison.
He plays dirty.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. I mean, there were so many fouls that fight.
I mean, even the ref said that he wasn't his best night, meaning I fucked up.
I'll have to rewatch it. You know, a lot of things get lost over time. That's a fight I might have to rewatch one of these days.
Yeah, I rewatched it not that long ago, and it's a boring fight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Salido Lomachenko?
Yeah, it's
was
a lot
it
of
dirty? Was it as dirty as they said?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Salido kicked his ass.
See, there's always differences of opinion.
Look, they just don't want to accept that a little paletero put beaters on one of the best boxers. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give that credit to a Mexican, bro.
Paletero.
You know what? Another boring fight I watched again was Rolly and Garcia, but honestly, like, I see it as a draw. Like, Rolly did not. I don't get where they're saying he was so. He whitewashed him. I'm just stuck on that. I rewatched him. Like, all right, that's a Garcia round. Okay, the jab's landing. There we go. Rolly's waiting. He'll have one burst. He'll hit the body, and I'm like, yeah, he pressed forward, but I don't know. It was a weird one. It was Garcia's jab. He was like jabbing his head off.
Yeah, but I mean that's all he was doing too. I mean, you can't. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, but he left the fight up to the judges with that jabbing nonsense.
Yeah, but you gotta see it. Like, he must hit that hard though, because Ryan started out so fast, and like he was looking to probably stop it, but then one hit. He got
that remedial point, the remedial hook.
That's right.
Literally, it like domesticated him like immediately. It was crazy.
It was dropping on Ryan's IQ points, bro.
Yeah, he wrangled him. Hey, Lil Justin, I wanted to ask you because I already know Sobers' take on this, but this whole Clarissa Shields thing, a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter. Like, they're debating who's the GOAT in women's boxing. Is it Clarissa Shields, Serrano, some Irish broad? What do you pay any attention to female boxing?
I mean, I've heard a lot about Fondora's sister. She doesn't get as much press, but I heard that she does good. Clarissa, I mean, they're all older. Like, what the heck's going on? Like, give her a real test. I don't get it. No, it's definitely not Clarissa. Definitely not.
I wouldn't know either way, man, because I don't know who's whom, but who was it that was telling me that Fondora's sister is actually Fondora and that they've never been seen together at the same time.
She's not bad. She's not bad looking.
Gabby.
I mean, I don't know, she's kind of nerdy.
Why do you say Gabby as if you know her?
Maybe I do, huh? No, I got her autograph. Maybe I did. So
maybe you get something else from her?
Uh-oh.
I wish.
Oh,
don't put.
You got yourself a little reach around.
I wish.
Just don't tell your brother that we're hooking up like that.
Yeah, Frank. As long as you don't pull out.
Just don't let the Towering Inferno know.
He looks like a nerd anyway. Looks a little nerdy.
I
Hey,
mean,
speaking of nerds, there's a guy I remember Thunderdome. I first learned about this guy through Thunderdome. That this dude, Mikey Palmici, or what's his name? It's this jiu-jitsu guy who's a big nerd. He talks like that, and he's got glasses. And they just posted a video of him rolling with a girl, and she's one of these. She's got like
talking about something Musamechi?
Yeah, that's it. What did I say? Mikey Palmici? Yeah. I think he's an Italian kid, and he looks he looks like Fundora, but obviously not a stall. And he's this jiu-jitsu wonder kid or something. Excuse me?
It looks more like Harry Potter.
Yeah, I suppose. And what is he? Is he supposed to be this jiu-jitsu wonder kid or something?
Yes,
or what's
he's supposed to be this wizard and like this. You know, these jiu-jitsu nerds are supposed to be what are they called? The Joe Rogan calls them like nerd assassins. Because these little these rich kids that work in Silicon Valley, they can afford to have someone like what's the dude's name? The Mexican dude, he's Joe Rogan's buddy.
Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo train them and have them show them jiu-jitsu, and they think they're trained killers because if someone can like lets them grab their pinky toe and they can twist it, they can make you tap out. These guys really think that they're trained killers. And they think they can fight. And you've seen it recently with that guy Jonah Hill. You know that guy from Superbad, that fly guy.
Right.
He was doing this interview and he talked about like his biggest regret or something. And he said something about it bothers him how people just make fun of him for being fat. And he's not even fat right now, like that or whatever. And he still hasn't let that shit go. That people make fun of him for being fat and a funny fat guy. And he's like, I've been training jiu-jitsu, man. I'll fuck you up right now. Anybody. Like, I'll seriously fucking hurt you. And, you know, like, it gives him this weird false sense of security. Like, bro, you've never been in a fight. Stop. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's a wrestling match. It's different, bro. Well, yeah. These jiu-jitsu guys think they're fucking killers, bro. So, that's why. And then it's like a really soft men gravitate towards that. Guys who they want to do, like, combat sports without the combat. They'll try to do jiu-jitsu, right? And then, so yeah, that's how they'll pump up this kid's head. Like he's just a fucking geek who, he's just a little twister. You know,
I mean, I respect a guy who's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu in the sense that when I say respect, I mean that if I ever had to get into a fight for some reason, if I ever had to fight one of those dudes, I would respect.
Don't get, butt naked on the ground and roll around with him because you're gonna lose.
No, what I'm saying is you can't take it lightly. I mean, I know a lot of people like to say like, well, I would punch him before he could choke me out. I was like, I don't know, that's not how it works. But to your point, I know Tank Cabot once mentioned that. Tank Cabot, who was a former MMA guy, and he was just a street fighter essentially, but he just happened to be big with some good boxing, and he was knocking people out. But he had a bunch of good losses too. But the point is, he said something interesting on Joe Rogan's podcast. He says a lot of these people now they do jiu-jitsu because it's so popular. But that doesn't make them fighters. And I said, that's a good distinction between a fighter and somebody who knows how to fight. Just because you know how to fight doesn't make you a fighter. A fighter is somebody like Tank Cabot, some of these psychos that they like to fight. And when they get offered a fight at the last minute, they don't go around asking, well, what is he, a southpaw? How tall is he? Well, no, they just go, okay, you got to fight? Good, I want to fight. A lot of these early MMA guys, by the way, they were doing it practically for free. They were doing it for peanuts. Those are real fighters. Guys who get into jiu-jitsu and they're bragging about how I can beat this guy and beat that guy, but they never actually do it. Those aren't fighters.
Yep.
So I was just trying to expand on what Sobers was saying about that. It's true. There's this new generation of guys who and it's almost like some people we know on certain servers that they just found out something new and then they won't shut up about it. They want everybody to know about it. It's like, okay, we know about this. Shut up.
Oh, well, I think because like, I just found about this. There's no way you could have known about it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like it's a little bit egomaniacal too, in a sense. Like, hey, I'm only everything revolves around me.
Childish.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the passion. Don't get me wrong, but it's just.
So you're saying jiu-jitsu replaced karate?
What'd you call it?
That's bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah.
Trending.
That was
trending hard. I passed by it.
No, karate was an ancient. What do you call it? Ancient Asian art.
Yeah, karate.
And then it got taken over by white America, for lack of a better word. right? Be dojos in the mall.
Mike Dojos, yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those.
So now you're saying jiu-jitsu has become that for the Middle America, or you know what I'm trying to say. But isn't it expensive? Like those dojos are, you're talking 100.
That's what I'm saying. They call them nerd assassins because it costs money to learn that shit. So people with money are the ones who learn it. But
So
I mean, if you know how to wrestle a little bit, you can just kind of like get away from someone trying to grab you. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, because I've seen Craig Jones. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, and I've seen him on YouTube, and he breaks down the fact that these a lot of these jiu-jitsu gyms, they're like cults. There's the cult leader, everybody venerates him because he's the authority, and invariably all these guys end up banging their female students. That's why I wanted to get to with this.
Who's got the background? Yeah,
who's tasting their balls, man?
Sounds like breaking cans.
Oh, guys.
Anyway, yeah, that Mikey Palmici or whatever his name was, the Italian kid, he was doing a video demonstration, and he's rolling around with this girl, this hot blonde, and she's wearing a full bodysuit, like she's going scuba diving or something, because that's what they wear in jiu-jitsu classes. And he's laying on top of her. He's got his balls on her face. I'm thinking this guy knows exactly what he's doing. And that's the creepy thing about this MMA jiu-jitsu thing, this craze is when they started it attracted all these nerds that have never been in a fight and have always fantasized about beating up their school bully. So they get there, and it becomes their life, and the sensei becomes their actual master. And you gotta watch that video. Watch Craig Jones Jiu-Jitsu Cult, and he breaks it down how it's all a scam. They make you buy the rash guards. You gotta buy the suit, that skin tight suit. You gotta buy everything from the store. It's a money printing machine, man.
So it's like another form of the red pill, or another
sector.
I mean, I'm not saying jiu-jitsu is that way, but I'm saying the way it's been, for lack of a better term, corporatized, which is what you were saying earlier.
It's a culture now, a cultural fad, like karate used to be. Are they making money? Are they these guys you're mentioning? Their YouTube figures or their social media figures?
Sobers would probably know more about that.
About famous jiu-jitsu guys? No, not really. I know Craig Jones is. That's about it.
How do you know this, Mike Palmici?
Because he was working. He was in one championship, and I watched that. And what they would do was they would have mixed sports. So they would have a Muay Thai fight, an MMA fight, a submission match, and then a Muay Thai fight again. They would mix it up like that. So that's where I first seen that guy. Not because I wanted to, but I seen that they would throw that shit in there, and it's like, all right, just like when BDM made the Joe bathroom break, girls are fighting. Yeah, I don't want to see dudes rolling around.
Yeah,
it's like enough to put up with in MMA, right?
But in a real fight, man, that you're gonna get stomped out though, right? Like you try to wrestle, you're gonna do a jiu-jitsu. What's like the main fold, or what's the main weapon? Is there like a name for it?
I mean, there's a bunch of them. Jiu-jitsu guy can take your back. He could choke you out. He could armbar you.
The armbar. I've heard of armbar. So, like, you really gonna armbar somebody at a bar? You're gonna get stomped on.
Well, it depends. I mean, one-on-one. In theory, one-on-one. Yeah, obviously, the jiu-jitsu guy has the advantage against somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. But, like you said, if there's friends around, you put. I mean, the last place you want to be in a street fight is on the actual street, and that's the thing that gets me about MMA, because they're always talking about. Boxing is not a fight. MMA is a real fight. I'm thinking now MMA is not a real fight. It's got more components, so it's closer to a real fight, but it's still not a real fight. It's a sports competition. It's combat sports. There's rules. You can't eye gouge. You can't bite. You can't you can't hit in the balls. You can't knee a guy when he's down. So no, it's not a real fight. Real fights in the street, one-on-one. You don't know what's going to happen, and that's why you shouldn't be there in the first place. Guy could put out a knife, a gun. His friends could jump in. Guy could hit you with a brick over the top of your head. Next thing you know, he's pulling a BDA and he's pulling your pants down and doing stuff to you. I mean, you don't know.
Oh,
anything can happen.
That's what I was gonna say. Trying to know jiu-jitsu, whatever, on the street, that's on the that you and your opponent are predisposed to like agreeing to those rules, right? Just like even if you know how to box on the street, if someone's fighting you, who's gonna agree? Just like, well, okay, well, you know how to throw hands really good. Okay, well, I'm just gonna do that with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you almost have to agree to that. Well, I mean, what's stopping them from like pulling something on, hitting you, or sticking their fucking fingers in your eyes. Like, wait a minute, we're boxing. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's not. It's like, you know, what rules are you agreeing on? There's no. So the same thing with jiu-jitsu. You almost have to be there trying to engage with it for it to like kind of work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna strangle you. No, I'm gonna strangle you. Like, no, if you're just trying to break away and break off, you can do that. And what are they gonna do? What fucking Makhachev does when they're going for your ankle? You know, diving for your ankle like a weirdo. Like, I don't know.
Like a weirdo. Hey, by the way, incidentally, I was watching. I think the best advice, by the way, is don't get into street fights. But I watched that fight on Saturday. Ian Garry versus what's his name? The other guy, Russian dude that he fought, something Chagaev or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not Makhachev.
Makhachev, yeah. Because because I've been rewatching old MMA fights. And I said, yeah, what the fuck happened to Fedor? How come I don't hear about Russians anymore? I mean, Dagestanis and all that, okay, I guess they're part of Russia, but technically they're a band apart more than anything. So anyway, long story short, I read up on who are the best Russian fighters right now, and they mentioned that dude. And then sure enough, 2 weeks later, he's fighting. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch it. He's pound for pound, right? He's supposed to be one of the best pound for pound guys. Another fucking boring fight. Now, again, I've only watched about 3-4 MMA fights live in the last 6 months. So maybe it's like a boxing thing that if you've only watched boxing and you end up watching Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, what's another boring fight that we've had recently? Like Oshaki Foster versus Raymond Ford, for example, and then 2 other boring fights. Yeah, you're gonna think, oh man, boxing is boring. So I don't know if that's what happened with me. I just ended up picking up some boring fights, but man, that fight was boring. Fucking guy, the Russian guy, literally, this is what happened. He goes for the takedown against the Irish guy, puts him against the cage. The guy's got his back, the Irish guy has his back to the Russian guy. So the Russian guy's just holding on to him from behind. He's not even punching him. Well, he's a couple of taps here or there. Not really doing any damage. Trying to take him down. Couldn't do it. Round's over. 5 minutes of that. 5 minutes of that. Second round, okay, there was a little bit more action. But then again, the Russian guy tries to take him down. Doesn't work. Then the Russian guy starts getting tired. Now it becomes a standoff fight. But there's not that much punching going on either. Both guys are just, that's what they do in the MMA. They just stand around, look at each other, inside leg kick here, little kick there, a jab here, jab there. And then before you know it, the round's over and you're thinking, what the fuck is going on? That's usually what happens with these fights. They're looking at each other, they're slapping each other with their kicks, a little jab here, a little bit jab there. Then one guy gets caught, the other guy hammer fists him, and the crowd goes nuts, and the commentators go, oh my God, can you believe it? Yeah, I can believe it because I've seen it 1,000 times already. It's not that entertaining. Just because there's a knockout doesn't make it entertaining. It's preceded by 5-10 minutes of bullshit.
You just said it in a nutshell what they do. I watched the same thing and it's like, man, this. Well, I've seen that Russian with Dagestani. What is he, Dagestani or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
Seen that guy before, and you already know he's a wrestler. But the other guy, they were saying the other guy didn't. Dana White, I guess, was talking about it, and he said, man, that white guy showed no killer instinct. And I guess he was like all proud of himself, all happy after it ended. Like he wasn't even trying to, I guess they were saying he was trying to be friends with the other guy. And it was just like, he had no competitive backbone is one of the knocks that they were saying, the Ian Garry or something like that. I guess he's known for being a cuck.
Is that right?
Sobers knows more about MMA, but maybe he was listening. Weren't they saying that the guy Ian Garry showed no killer instinct? He was like I think he actually said he was just happy to be there. Isn't that what he said?
I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but
you know what I mean.
He did okay because a lot of guys have a hard time with Makhachev, and with the takedowns, usually you can't keep them off you. Kind of like that same shit that Chimaev does. Ian Garry, he messed up because he just waited too much, right? He did have Makhachev kind of, he could have fended him off. He could have done more, but he's young, I guess, a little inexperienced. They kind of pushed him kind of fast, I think. So, yeah, maybe he just wasn't ready. And I mean, with the wrestlers, well, these Dagestani wrestlers, these guys, they get gun shy because they're just worried about being taken down the whole time. And then they get punched in the face, worrying about the takedowns. And, the pendulum swings back because it used to be like that when I first started watching MMA where the wrestlers were taking over and they can't stop them. They can't stop. what's his name? Matt Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone learns how to sprawl, when someone realizes it's a sprawl, catch it, stuff it, and then keep shut it down. They start beating the shit out of them. These guys aren't that great. They're not so once their crotch sniffing powers don't work, they're not so great on the feet. And look at Chimaev, right? He couldn't take down Strickland. He had to stand up and fight with him, and he lost. Same thing when he fought smaller guys that were decent wrestlers. Kamaru Usman basically put hands on him. He had a very close fight with him. The same thing with the fucking welterweight Gilbert Burns. That's a jiu-jitsu guy. And Chimaev couldn't keep him down. He dropped his ass. So, yeah, it just gotta, someone has to know how to sprawl. That's it. And they won't look so amazing once you stop their takedowns. He's like Makhachev, that guy right there. He's a champion, but you can find a video of him in the UFC getting knocked out in one punch. Like one punch, head snapping off the ground, knockout.
Dang.
So these guys aren't, he's not like how they try to make Khabib out to be. He's like, oh, undefeated, untouchable, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, you can catch him.
Does Rolly do jujitsu?
He does judo. He's a judoka. It's a little bit different.
Diaz brothers, they did jiu-jitsu, right? That was their thing. Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
And they try to act like it was boxing. Like, no, you guys are jiu-jitsu facts. Don't try to act like you're boxers. Straight up.
I did like how those guys stood up for boxing a little bit. Remember that was infamous.
No, but they try to act like they were. But like, you're guys aren't boxers. Stop it. You're jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, they were more.
Well, they threw hands. I mean, they did do stand up and throw hands.
Yeah, they were like the equivalent of Leo Santa Cruz. They're gonna pepper you up with a little beep 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 beep. Like just little peppering shots. They weren't.
No, that's true. I mean, when you seen him box, he fought Jake Paul, right? Nate Diaz.
They were just throwing their hands out there.
Yeah, they slap. It's very ugly technically.
It was disgusting watching them box. Yeah. And just because they threw hands, they're the best boxers. Fuck that.
Well, for MMA, it's good, right? Because
oh my god, the way Diaz would throw his combinations would be ridiculous.
So, Sobers, who are the best pound for pound? Are they all in the UFC, or are there any top 10 pound for pounders that aren't in the UFC?
As far as MMA?
Yes.
Shit. They pretty much got everybody in the UFC.
And who's the most entertaining out of them all?
Who they don't have though is Francis Ngannou.
And he's an old guy, right? Already.
Yeah, because he's with like PFL, isn't it? Like PFL is like their competitor, or something like that. And yeah, Francis Ngannou is old, isn't? Yeah, he's older. He has to be almost 40, right?
I want to see that Fury rematch.
Oh, my shit's not even coming through, right? The guy, Cyril Gane, who just knocked out Alex Pereira, that guy lost to Ngannou, John Jones beat him, but that was a fake fight, I think.
Who is the heavyweight champ in the UFC?
Cyril Gane right now, I think, or John Jones. Who is it?
Who's the heavyweight
It's Cyril
champion?
Gane. It's Cyril Gane now, bro. Cyril Gane.
He's the heavyweight champion in the UFC?
Yeah, because he just beat up fucking, what's his name? Pereira.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
Oh, okay. That was for the championship?
I think so, bro. I think so.
Because Pereira was coming up.
John Jones is done.
Well, he's had all these issues outside the ring, right?
It's Aspinall, thank you.
Tom Aspinall. But he's been hurt, though, right? He hasn't
I
been
don't know where the fuck he's at.
So there's no more. The last exciting fighter was, Conor McGregor. The last time they had the biggest hype, the apex, the peak of UFC.
I mean, Alex Pereira's cool. Adesanya has some cool fights. There's some all right fighters.
It was Strickland. Now Strickland's fell off, right?
Strickland's kind of a A backflip bitch.
Oh, it's Taporia. That was it. Then now he just got
Rory
his
was
ass.
good, but he just got knocked out.
They was hyping his ass up like he really could
He
box.
was knocking out legends, yeah.
Taporia. Damn.
He ran
was
into a
winning that
Mexican.
fight. He was winning that fight though, right?
No.
I thought he was winning the first half.
They
of the
did all
fight.
right. I was back and forth. Justin just broke him.
And then his face just started looking like
His
hamburger
face
meat.
fell apart, yeah.
It was a body shot, I think, that changed the landscape, right? Oh, let's watch this. Wow, this looks corny. Is BDA still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What happened?
Look at this. This looks good.
Oh, what is this?
Who's this transvestite interviewing him?
Oh, Silver's like, oh,
This is gonna be
Silver's is brutal, man.
This is live on the spot. Huh? Okay, let's see. Is he in 2 sugars? That would be good. If the lie detector test, this is gay.
I was thinking about killing myself.
No,
that's
that
what
was
you
so
need to
funny.
do.
No, BD, the way you edited and then you were making it look like he was laughing when Rolly said something all serious.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told people that they was edited. I should have just left it in.
You sure should have.
But their laughing was so ridiculous, like it was so forced. I mean,
So before I
They-
play
they're-
this, is this how hard they have to try? This is what they're really trying to sell now? That they have to go this far, lie detector test? Isn't that what they do on like those shows, the baddies? Isn't this
Yeah.
something they
Yeah,
do
they're just trying to get it, bro. They're trying to hit the lowest common denominator.
for-
Dead
They
ass,
already
bro.
got us though.
Yeah, we're pretty low as it go, right?
Nah, some high class shit right here.
Man,
It's a high IQ right here.
not you, huh? Okay.
No, I'm talking about everyone on this bitch right now.
Okay.
On the panel.
I'm pretty.
I'm
low.
about to
I
check.
know that. I'm a scumbag. All right. let's
No, I
watch.
agree. I agree with Source.
I feel scummy watching this, but let's go.
Are you scared that you will lose the fight come Saturday night live on the zone?
Wait. Why does he look at him like a reptilian? That's really a reptilian. Look at him. He transformed, didn't he? Was it Sober saying that he was a reptilian, or was it the?
No, yeah, that's the lizard. They put the little fucking
Watch his
the
reptilianness
real
come out.
lizard. They put the real lizard in his fucking eye.
Look.
he saw a fly.
Watch. It's okay in 4K. I keep talking. Let me shut up. Watch.
They put the lizard in his ear. That's why his eyes are like that.
Look, there it is.
Whoa.
No.
He started flexing. You know, like the reptiles when they start.
Look at that look. Oh my!
What?
Look.
He wants to bite him.
This is real. This is not AI.
Zoom in on that, bro. I can't see it.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on.
He has
Is it
lockjaw.
on the screen now?
I see that guy, but I'm trying to see.
Look at.
Oh, so
Right, he's having lockjaw from the night before.
I was about to say that looks like cocaine, not like he looks like a crocodile.
He's warming up.
Yeah, you know how do they say in Spanish, crocodilo? That's what they call it, right? When they geeked up.
I always
He's
forget
not
what's
full.
the difference between a crocodile. What's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? I always forget.
Fresh water and salt water.
Ah, okay, there you go.
John said, "Laugh all you want." About to hit 400K subs. Hey, whatever works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do what you gotta do.
Are you scared that you will lose the fight come Saturday night live on the zone?
No.
Okay. The fuck?
That I didn't even pause that. That was real.
You are so cool as a cucumber, right? Like it's.
How much you want to bet there's nothing going? She's not really looking at anything. There's no machinery attached to him. Attached to him. Nothing's turned on. The computer's not even turned on. I bet.
Ryan did it, and they said it was a
Are
fake.
you scared that you will lose the fight come Saturday night live on the zone?
No.
That was real.
He's not scared. He's not scared. He's not scared of anything. You're so cool as a cucumber, right? Like it's. You are confident.
Rolling.
My God.
Rolling. Are you
Okay. Wow.
You think Rolly tried to get it on with the
With the white chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like that type of dog.
Yeah.
He's that type of guy.
He needs a
smash
challenge.
anything.
Who?
Rolly.
The- with this with the lie detector lady. She's like a little chubby white girl. Where do they go? BBW?
Yeah, I think that's what they call
Looks like a fat white guy with a wig on.
This is creepy. This guy's creepy, man. That look at, what was it, that lock, what'd you call it? He had lockjaw?
Lockjaw, yeah.
He did that for like 10 seconds. He was sitting there staring at Willie like that. He was trying to scare Rolly Romero. Would you want to go drink with him after this? You know, he probably wants to hang out in Vegas with you.
Who?
With who? Yeah, with Rolly or with the Showbiz?
With Showbiz, like, you know, he's probably like, come on, Rolly, come back to my you know, he probably has a big ass suite, right? Like one of those Vegas 2-story suites up there.
He probably does, yeah.
You know, he's throwing parties. You know, Mr. BDA, you should hit the Vegas and you know, meet up with the, you know, rub elbows with the industry.
Yeah, the problem is you gotta rub something else too if you want to get ahead. So
No, you don't. Come on. We
man,
just-
I've
we
heard the
joked about
stories,
it.
man.
So
I've
you're
heard the-
saying there's a boxing syndicate? And that's how
There
you
is
rub
a
elbows?
there is a pink mafia within boxing. There was a guy who used to call in Agent Apex, and he used to tell us all about that. And then
Really?
they,
You
yeah,
need to
he's
redo that.
was that?
You need to redo that and make those clips.
Yeah, I actually do know where the clip is, by the way, because it was in the Fury Wilder countdown, the second the rematch, and the guy called in, and then he never. I don't think he ever called back because they got to him apparently during the call. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
he was. I don't know if he was playing sound effects or something, but like that the call ended up cutting. You heard his
Wait a
voice
minute.
getting distorted, and he said, "Oh, they're like my line is." I forget what he said. Something about my line. They got to my line or something. He just got off. I said, "What the fuck?"
Wait a minute. Who's about 400K subs?
I think he's talking about show.
Yeah.
Oh, who cares, bro? Why are you cucking for that guy? Who cares?
Oh.
Well, he's big time. Showbiz is big time, but BDA says there's more to it. We should not
for sure.
worship it, right?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Well, people do. People
Thou shall not covet.
They look at it, right. They see 400, so they think he must be doing something, right?
Speaking of something, what the hell's going on in the background?
If somebody's in the dungeon.
Somebody's
the heck?
using a trash can.
I think that's a little jazz.
Is that me?
Somebody's
Can you guys
shredding
hear
a
me?
bone.
Yeah, we hear you,
You
but
guys
not
can-
you.
You can hear what I'm doing?
Yeah,
what do you-
we
the
heard
hell are
the
you
body going through the wood chipper. Yeah, we heard it.
Yo, y'all heard what I'm? My bad. Hold up. Let me mute it for a sec, cause I'm doing a lot right
Yeah.
now. I'm having a southpaw type of day. Hold on.
That sounds like a pretty good day.
Gotta have self-awareness on these streets.
You gotta be careful though. Imagine
Yeah.
you're having a conversation with somebody and you don't know that the microphone's on, and next thing you know, you're talking. I got the results,
No.
and yeah, I got the it came back positive. So I gotta take the meds. I gotta get the antibiotics.
Give it.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be there soon. All right. I love you. All right. Bye.
Whoa, baby. He said, "I love you, babe."
Look, we've only known each other a couple of
Oh,
days now. You're gonna.
Goodness, bro, it's called decorum.
I'm just playing.
You were not playing. We heard you. We heard you simping. You gonna buy her some McDonald's too? You said, "Babe, I know you need that McDonald's and
McDonald's.
let me just talk
Hey,
to my friends a little bit longer."
Not for nothing, man, but that fucking fast food now. First of all, the last time I had McDonald's was a couple of years ago, and I don't know, it wasn't as good as I remembered.
You know what? A lot of people have noticed that, and I've noticed it too. Fast food did used to taste different. It was cheaper, and it did taste real. Like a Whopper tastes like real meat.
Mm-hmm.
And McDonald's fries, you have to eat them right there on the spot, because within a minute, like, the food's no good. I like McDonald's personally.
Really?
I don't eat. Yeah, I love McDonald's. I love a Big Mac. It's nostalgia. You know, when I was a kid, my grandma used to buy me McDonald's, and like a treat.
Right. So
Like a
to calm
cheat.
you down, like if you calm
Yeah,
down,
because
I'll
I
get you
was a
some McDonald's.
badass kid. But it was like a special treat. Like, don't tell your dad, don't tell your grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Every once a month, I probably eat McDonald's maybe once a month. Just sneak out and go get some McDonald's. It's like a dirty little treat, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, man. I mean, I hear so many things. There's that urban legend now that people are saying. I don't know if it's an actual fact, but if you leave it out for days and eat it, it won't go bad or something like that. Like it's filled with so many preservatives, and then on top of that, they say that you were talking about, well, in Burger King, it smells like actual meat and all that. I think that's that's just what it is. It's the smell. It smells like actual meat. It might even taste like it, but it's not actual meat. They got all these preservatives now and all these.
Hey, Mr. PDA, you ruined my illusion.
Sorry, but
I don't want to hear the truth about it, because anytime you have McDonald's, my dad is a very big health nut. He'd be like, he'll make that look and sound. You eating that shit? Yeah, Dad, because I fucking like it. Okay, it's good.
Yeah, well, listen, you were turning me against True School, so I'm turning you against McDonald's.
I just showed you what he was, right? It's like showing your girl. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a picture of your girl at the club. It's up to you to acknowledge it or act like it didn't happen.
How dare you?
But no, I really only eat it once in a blue moon. Like, it's a treat, like a cheat meal.
Sure, yeah. As long as you're not eating.
Gotta try is
You're breaking up, homeboy.
Go.
Your girl is turning off your phone. She don't like you talking to the homies. But but the thing with fast food is it was never meant to be consumed all the time. I think that's the problem, right? Like,
obviously, yeah.
It's when I was growing up, it was literally like a sin to eat fast food.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's moderation.
Yeah, it was like a once in a while, maybe like once when you were on the road, or just like you understand what I'm saying? Am I making my point?
Of course, yeah. It's common sense, man. You're not supposed to eat that shit every day. It's supposed to, like you say, it's a treat. It's like, hey, I had a good week. I did what I was supposed to. I'm gonna get some McDonald's.
After the ball game, you're driving home.
You can have it like 4
late.
days a week.
No, people are doing that.
You
That's
can have
the
it 4
problem.
days
Is
a
like,
week.
no,
what?
You're being a troll now.
No, 4 days a
Does
week
your girl
is fine.
tell you
Choose
that?
the right place.
Does your girl
No, I
tell
don't
you
have a-
that
I don't have
she
a
wants
girl.
you
I
to
have
buy her
I have
Chipotle and
mistresses.
mistresses? Well, you got some cheap mistresses.
I have
if they
different
take
ones.
Chipotle.
Dating apps. That's all I got to do. Dating app.
Well, what heifers are you
Play
dating
roulette,
that'll
all that.
take a
You're
date
good.
at McDonald's? Because I want to know where you're. I need those chicks.
No, actually, I think it's a good move, man. I mean, somebody I've heard stories, man, because I don't go on these dating apps and all that, but apparently I've heard horror stories of people go on these dating apps and the girl's like, like you ask her, oh, what do you want to do? Well, you can take me to the steakhouse. Well, I was like, whoa, like they want to go. It's just they pick and choose who they want to go out with. They set up 5 dates in a row, and they just want to be wined and dined. Yeah. So yeah, take that bitch to McDonald's, man.
Yeah.
Take that bitch to McDonald's.
Yeah,
Is that what
I
you
take
said?
them.
That's right.
I mean, I
Damn,
take them
talk.
to the restaurant and go. I tell them, let's do half and half. They go, what? I go half and half. That's it. Pay yours, I pay mine. Simple.
That's
Done.
not a date. That's a transaction. You're supposed to treat her. You
you're
treat
not.
her, and she
Frank,
treats you.
you're sounding like you're sounding bad right now.
Well, no, tell me how I'm sounding bad.
Because you're saying that you're saying, well, it's a transaction. I got a newsflash for you. It's all a transaction. Marriage is a transaction.
Oh, you're one of those guys. You pay for it anyway. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying, but it does remain true.
No, you're right. Because if anybody, I don't know if you grew up with sisters or aunts or cousins. I've seen it firsthand. Like my girl cousins, and they're lookers. They'll tell you they talk amongst each other. Like in their phone, they got a guy called dinner, lunch, and breakfast.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Like they know the guys to call. I have an aunt who she'll be like, oh, your nephew, what do you want to eat? Okay, we're in what city? And she has a number, a dude to call, and he'll take us out to dinner.
Wow. Must be pretty good looking.
And she told me it's all transactional. Like, then I learned, I was like, damn, I've been getting pimped then. That's when I knew. I was like, damn, I'm a simp, you know? And it kind of.
Oh, wait, they make these dudes pay for everybody? Like, I got my little cousin with me, pay for him too.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
no. Well, they don't. Well, no. That's how simple she's. They don't tell. He wouldn't tell the guy she was bringing me. I would just show up, and what's he gonna do? He just goes, yeah.
Well, they tell you,
hey, nephew.
they say, spoil me.
You gotta have some sort of balls to do that, man.
Well,
or
she's
no
a
shame.
woman. They know the guys they can do it with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys were just simps. I mean, when I would meet up with them, and then she would be like, "Yeah, go ahead, Frank, just order whatever you want." And he's looking at me like trying to guide code me, like, "Come on, bro, don't do it." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna order everything."
Hey, Phantom of the Realm makes a good point, man. You know that each fast food burger contains the equivalent of 3 days of sodium. You are frying your insides by consuming that much sodium.
I don't want to hear it. I like it. Why are you ruining my illusion?
I got a better one for you, Frank.
Yeah.
Make your own burgers.
It's not the same.
It is the same. It's even, but you're right. It's not the same. It's better, man. You get to choose your own ingredients. You can add some fucking onions on it. You can toast the buns if you want. I mean, you just get the right equipment, the right setup, and you're set. Like, listen, Frank, with YouTube now, and all these people showing you how to make these specialty burgers and all that, there should be no excuse. No excuse.
Sober said that was a troll account. Is that the real Sobers? I guess somebody just got in here. Did they do anything?
I didn't see anything.
No, I
Can you
hear
guys
you.
hear me?
I hear you, BDA.
Okay.
But there is something different about a Big Mac. I will say that. I know what you're saying, and I do. But a Big Mac is different. You can't get a Big Mac anywhere else.
It's incredible.
McDonald's fries are the best. They literally, I will go out of my way just to get McDonald's fries.
Do you like McDonald's, BDA?
Or like Mexican Coke. You ever had Mexican Coke, BDA? They have it up in Canada.
You were talking about Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't know what you were talking about. But I've had with the real cane sugar
yes,
they get.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. It's Mexican Coke or nothing, and it's just
That's
like
true.
McDonald's fries or McDonald's Big Mac.
BDA, do you like McDonald's?
I mean, not anymore, man. It's not the same. Maybe it's a Canadian thing here, but it's the last time I went was years ago, and I didn't like it. It had a weird aftertaste. It wasn't even that. No, it wasn't good. No, it wasn't like I remember.
I will tell you where not to eat, and I think it is like Jack in the Box, Subway. A lot of these places used to be good, and I'm gonna say something very controversial. And I don't know if you can attest to this where you're at, BDA or Jez, anybody listening. Once I don't know how do I say this? Once a certain place of people on the planet you know who they are when they buy the restaurant. It seems to go downhill. It's like they cut corners.
Right.
I'll say it's somewhere where in the other side of the world, in between above Africa, in between the United Kingdom.
I don't like where this is going.
No, I'm just saying they'll buy the restaurants, and then it seems like the quality goes down because they start getting cheap. Like, you ever heard of Wingstop?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when Wingstop first came out, it used to be meaty and juicy. Pause. And then it started becoming a franchise, and certain places would buy it, and you could tell that the wings Wingstop has went down dramatically. Same with Chipotle. The quality just went to shit. And I seen it all over social media. Like, they stopped giving out portions, and they said it's like private equity. Private equity buys these firms, and then all the quality, the actual products go to shit. You know what I mean? Like, they start cutting the cost on the quality of the product.
Wait, what noise do you make? You go, What is the
Oh, you're talking about yeah. You know, something similar happened to Papa John's, because to me that was the best pizza place here. And then for some reason 2-3 years ago, and then somebody told me that's because they changed the ingredients. I said, that's that the sauce doesn't taste as good. So I think at some point you just gotta go, man, but make your own pizza. Get yourself a pizza stone, a baking iron, steel plate, baking. What do they call it? Steel baking steel or whatever.
Wood fire.
Well, yeah, but wood fire you gotta set. I mean, you gotta have space outside to do that. I mean, just get yourself a baking steel plate, and you can make your own bread there. It's fucking nice and toasty. It's crunchy on the outside, smooth, good on the inside. What's the word I'm looking for here? Soft on the inside. Yeah, man. I mean, especially now with this economy, man. Stop fucking wasting money on take and just start making your own food.
That's the other thing. Fast food is like double. It used to be, you could get a quality meal for under $6, $7. Now it's, I would think I went like a couple of weeks ago. I got chicken nuggets and it was like $10, $11.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, they have their value meal, but that ends up. But so you get a McChicken, right? It's like $2. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the value meal.
Turn right onto Artesia Boulevard.
Okay. His chick has got him. And then the fries were like $6. So I was like, damn, it's 10. See, that's how they get you, right? So I had to order the meal. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just order the chicken nugget meal. It's the same, and then I get a soda.
So I saw the price. Somebody put the price of a Happy Meal or something in the 90s, 1995, I think it was. It was like $2.35. I go, God damn, those were the days.
$2.35? Now that's crazy. That's like you can't even get something out of a vending machine for that.
No, exactly. Yeah, chocolate bars $2.35 now.
Wow, the dog tacos the best. Subway scandal. Yeah, no, I mean something happened. Something changed in the world where these places like Wendy's used to be good. I remember like Wendy's used to be the best out of all of them, and now like I don't think I've been to Wendy's in years. I think I went and it just was like basura.
I wanted to ask you, you're in California, right?
Yes.
In-N-Out Burger, is that just a California thing, or which one's the one that everyone talks about?
In-N-Out is the bomb. Now that's
really?
They claim to be fresh, and I think it does taste fresh. They make everything fresh right there. So fries, the fries kind of suck, but the burger you can't beat an In-N-Out Burger. Now some people say it's trash, but it's good. Like it's a legit. Yeah, In-N-Out is amazing. It's fresh. That's what they say.
Incredible.
The pizza, I don't know if you ever heard of round table pizza.
No.
You never heard of Round Table? Well, and where we're at, that's like legit fresh pizza. It's like fast food, but it's better than Papa John's or Domino's or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good. It'd be like the In-N-Out of burgers. But as far as fast food now, yeah. I mean, I used to go to like Jack in the Box. Like Jack in the Box has everything. You have Jack in the Box over there?
No, we don't have that either.
Have you ever been to a Jack in the Box?
I think, I can't remember, man.
Well, they have like tacos. They have everything, like tacos, egg rolls. It's like the craziest, like curly fries, like the craziest, crappiest fast food. But even that, like now it's like $15, and it just doesn't taste the same. It tastes stale. Like they reuse the grease and everything.
Yeah, they don't have. I call it reheat value. Some like Papa John's, that was a good pizza because it had reheat value. There's other pizzas you put them you the next day, like you were saying about the McDonald's fries. You put them up the next day in the microwave. The certain pizzas and they stink. They feel like cardboard. Other ones you reheat them and it's like, it's still good. It's not as good as when when you first arrived, but it's still very good. There's, like I said, other pizzas. You're thinking, is this the same shit I was eating yesterday?
No, that's like I think Domino's, Pizza Hut. I don't remember as a kid. I remember them. Like Pizza Hut used to be good. think I had Pizza Hut last year, and it was awful. Just what happened, man? And like I don't know, everything quality just seemed to go down. And searching the internet, they said it's private equity firms buy it up, and then they want to cut costs so much they lower the quality. But again, you're not supposed to eat that stuff. Like you're not supposed to consume it as part of your. It's not supposed to be a regular thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's stupid, man. The thing that's supposed to make it look good, taste good. Well, we gotta cut corners now, so to make more money. So we're gonna cut on the quality. Well, who's gonna buy it then?
Americans.
Nah, man, I gotta tell you.
Well, most people don't cook anymore. People live a faster life, right? They're always traveling. They're always on the road. People are busier nowadays, right? Like my stepdad, he has to commute 2 hours to work each day. Well, he's retired now, right? But he used to have to. He has no time. People don't have time to cook like they used to.
Why not?
Well, people are busier. They live in metropolitan cities. They travel, around where I'm at. It takes 15 minutes just to drive 5 miles.
Gee, oh yeah, I forgot. California's traffic is insane, right? The roads and
yeah.
Some
of the worst traffic. So people, fast food, and not even fast food. Like, do you have those diners like Applebee's, TGIFs? Is that's still a thing? Denny's. You're probably not a diner, right? Like my dad was like, you sound like my dad. Where like he hated greasy diners.
Really? No, I love the greasy diners.
You like the diners? You go in and get
I like the dives, man. You got there, you get and you get all the coffee you want, and then you just complain about life.
And you sit there, smoke a cigarette, and read a paper. And
you read a paper. You talk about the commies.
Shit. Oh yeah, the world's going to shit, right?
Yeah, man. I think we became shit a long time ago.
That's why you do the second renaissance.
Ah, yes, of course. Shout out to
I was listening to the show. It was a good show. That guy, he pretty much bags you though.
Who, Joe?
John, is his name John?
Oh, John Gonzalez. Yeah. We have a good back and forth.
Damn. He be roasting you.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do, man.
It was pretty good, man. You guys cover a lot of interesting subjects.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully you jump on for more.
Yeah, you know what? In the boxing there's a flow. There was like, I don't know. I wanted to listen more. I didn't really have a flow, so I was like, man, maybe next time I'll try.
Yeah, no, yeah. Especially, man, I started losing steam about halfway through, man, because we did how long did we go on for over there at Second Renaissance? Let me see.
You guys were on, I think, 4 hours.
It was 4.5 hours on top of the 1.5 we did at BDA. So we ended up at about 2 a.m, man. I was fucking tired. I'm actually getting tired right now, man. I gotta jump off, man. But
I'm gonna wrap it up. We're losing steam here. But real quick, he said Denny's, Applebee's, Dave & Buster's all consider upscale. The average U.S. citizen can't afford it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the fast food is actually. It's actually Denny's, Applebee's is about the same price of what fast food will get you now.
Really? Fuck. It's the currency is going down. That's the problem. It's inflation.
It's something, man. But more people see the problem is more people have to eat out because they're back and forth. They're at work and then they get off too late, or time is just more. There's just not enough time anymore, so more people are actually forced to eat out. Was my summation. But well, you sound like you got to wrap it up, BDA. Thank you. You really came in and helped me out here.
Oh,
keep it
I'm
going.
glad I could help.
Well, it's tough, man. You said earlier it's work. It's work. Especially you have to do a show, and if you can't get away and entertain the people.
Well, hopefully we entertain people. Hopefully I think I'm telling you. Sometimes there was a point where I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't jump on because I feel like you said, you're flambeing all these subjects, and I don't want to get in the way because I talk enough over at BDA. Sometimes I even feel like I don't let you talk because sometimes you go, you as soon as I start chiming in, you stop. And I'm thinking, no, it's because I thought you were done. You know how it works. I don't want dead air. So as soon as I hear a pause and I think you're done, I start chiming in. But you weren't really done. You have a pause because you'd like to, sometimes you take a little long pause before you continue. So I go, fuck. So I don't feel like I'm rushing you or anything over there.
No, I know. I just be messing around. A lot of times I just sit back. I really just I'm listening to you or Fu or Sobers. I just really be listening.
Well, you got good takes, man. Chime in.
Yeah, well, you run a tight show, and I like that part. I like the you keep a pace.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're talking and you go and I start chiming in, you go, "Oh shit, sorry." And I go, "No, you were in the middle of making a point. I didn't think you were. I thought you were finished. So keep going, man. Keep going."
Okay, now I would just over talk you. I'll just BDA, chill, chill, bro. Chill.
Hey, shut the fuck up, yeah.
Nah, just chill. Like you can run a tight shit, but let me riff.
What do they say? Let me cook. Let me cook.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, BDA. Appreciate it. Really,
thank you, man. Thank you.
Really keeps the show entertaining. And I know you can't hop on a lot, but whenever you get the chance, I don't like just talking to myself. You say I'm flamboyant, but it's really more entertaining and helpful when people are along for the ride.
Fantastic. It's good to know. Good to know.
So we covered a lot. I don't know if you'll be on late. Are we gonna be able to get another breakdown?
The Lopez thing.
Well, just boxing show, period.
Probably, yeah. I'm gonna talk to Chief. I want to try to get back doing some other shows.
Okay, so are you gonna be on between now and the fight?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not sure.
No, I know. Well, go like and subscribe to BDA. That's where we congregate. So, yeah, thank Jazin, Sobers, Champy, Blaze. Was there anything else? One last parting shot?
Well,
I asked you for a suggestion. I gave you a suggestion. What suggestion would you have for Frank Bay?
Yeah, well, 2 suggestions. Go more often.
Yeah.
Go live more often if you can. That's why I dove into this whole fucking spiel about preparation and all that. But if you can, go live twice. And I don't know if you can, but since you're there in California, I think you could get the East Coast crowd and do some late night shows.
Oh, that's a good.
And just throw throw the panel.
But you wouldn't be able to do. You wouldn't be able to jump on a late.
No, but I'd listen. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the night is an untapped market because that's where all the crazy people come. No, I wouldn't say crazy necessarily. The interesting people come out. And Recognize was doing that for a while, man. Recognize was doing that in 2021, I want to say, 2022, 2021. And he was doing them late nights. Minimum, he would start them at midnight Eastern time. And a whole bunch of interesting people would jump in. Some people even ended up turning on their cameras, and they showed some interesting hobbies that they had.
Oh,
like
wow.
White powder in large bags that they were weighing, and weird shit, man. Weird shit.
You just recommended, you suggested me to go off the deep end. What if I never come back from the late night hour, right? I just
try it,
in
man.
the Conte hour and get caught up with the crazies. Wish me luck.
That's where the party's at.
Oh, shit. All right. Sorry, Jazz. I think he tried to hop back in, but we're going to wrap it up. Just going to give the shots out. Solo Dolo, Phantom Apollo, like, subscribe. BDA said he might do a show, so look out for BDA's show. I don't know if I'll be able to make it back for another show, but I don't know. Maybe we can do a quick show later in the week. But yeah, thank you everybody. Jackie, she was here. The Turk, Blaze, Matador, Champy. Yeah, man, you guys all show up. More DC, Alfredo. I said the Turk. John Blaze, Sergeant Apollos. Thank you for everybody. We this was a longer show. We talked about a couple subjects, but yeah, Romero, Teofimo Lopez, Ennis Ortiz. Jazz, I'm gonna wrap it up, man.
All right, you guys.
Did you? Okay, thank you.
Yo, Frank.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no. I messed with the show like heavy. It was good. Like I didn't know that other people like VDA joined up on here and all that, which is cool. Like you guys all support.
For sure, dude.
Support each other.
Don't be a stranger. Hop on anytime. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Notifications on. I got you, bro. All right, man.
Bingo.
All right, you guys.
Thank you. Solo Dolo, BSB, Nuclear, Eric Gomez. Thank you. So yeah, we'll be tuning in for the Rolly Romero. We'll definitely be back to talk about it. And yeah, whatever else news Yeah, if we do Scante, I'm gonna probably take him up on the suggestion. But with that, just leave you with some funnies and some entertainment. And yeah, we're out.
One, 2, 3. Stay focused.
A nutter on that stomach. What I do? I had a good nut. I do. I had a good nut, and I nutter on that stomach. What I do? I had a good nut.
Is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.